morning, Macon, Georgia, and everywhere else around the world through the World Wide Web. This is the Morning Roast for February 19th, 2013. It's 8:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in Macon, Georgia. And today's weather, today's temperature out here is... Let me see.
Blank.
Yeah, blank.
Oh, there it is.
44. Excuse me. 44 degrees outside and raining with a high of 63 and a low of 31.
Oh, that's not bad. 63.
Yeah, but it gets down to 31. So grab your umbrella and your long johns and corduroys. It's gonna be cold and wet.
Yeah, you gotta layer up.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Oh, so how you doing?
I'm doing well. I had a trouble with the car.
Again,
yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
Anthony's sitting over there like the invisible man today. He's gonna be at 9:30 according to him. But
yes, because for some
strange
reason,
wonder if he cares about the show.
I think the new place where he's staying, I think they don't have buses or something.
Yeah. Whatever.
Like people stop using the bus. I don't know.
Good morning, Iraq. Good morning, Eve. Good morning, Jihad and LM Macon's on. DS.
Thank you, DS.
You're the man, kid.
How you doing?
Saibuki is on.
Wow. How you doing, Saibuki? Great.
Thank you for your support there, Englishman.
Thank you very much. Speaking of support and a story, he gave me a story night before last.
Who?
Saibuki. It was about some new video game right there.
Yeah, put that up.
Yeah.
Look at that, Saibuki. You get to your story that you sent gets to be the first.
The first one. How about that? Yes. It says Halo creators unveil massive new game, Destiny. It says, is there life after Halo, you ask? Well, it says that the ace game developers at Bungie Studios, best known as the folks who turned Master Chief into a household name, believe there is, and they poignantly named it Destiny. At a recent event at their sprawling headquarters in Bellevue, Washington, Bungie and publisher Activision finally pulled the curtains back a bit, just a little, on their first non-Halo project in a dozen years. And while Destiny shares some general sci-fi themes with Master Chief's expansive mythos, the creators believe their new shooter is significantly more ambitious. It has elements of a first-person shooter, it has elements of an open-world sandbox, and it has elements of a persistent world. And it brings them all together in a new way, said Eric Hirschberg, CEO of Activision Publishing, during a presentation.
What is this about?
It's I think it's a video game.
It's a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Destiny is the first collaboration between Bungie and Activision, who know a thing or two about building successful franchises. See Call of Duty or Skylanders. They're looking at a long play here. Destiny is one book in a story that'll span the length of a 10-year deal. In other words, this is simply the beginning of what both companies consider an unprecedented undertaking.
Okay.
Incredible.
Great. Well, I'm excited about that.
It's like, dang,
I can give
you don't like sports. You don't like sports.
I swear to God,
you don't
I don't know what that shit.
You don't like video games. Like, well, I know you like coffee. I know that.
Oh, okay. Well, that much I do. Oh, this game is going to reinvent online gaming. Okay.
Wow.
Well, I see.
I hope so because you can only play Cityville so much.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Saibuki, for that contribution to the show there.
Much appreciated.
Much appreciated.
Anyway,
makes me want to save up and get a video game myself.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna save what happened downtown yesterday.
Oh yeah, you went to see Danny Glover.
Danny
not
Glover
the actor.
announced.
Yes.
The young politician, and it was very interesting moments there. Mm-hmm. First of all, everybody was staring at me when I was there. So you could imagine what that felt like.
Yeah, I bet you they thought you were going to be his running mate or something like that.
No. They were like freaking out that I was there.
Oh, okay.
And then all of a sudden, some of the guys start coming out of City Hall, and it was that guy that works for the mayor. He's got the light.
Does he got like a beard or something?
No. He's a really tall guy, grayish hair, good-looking man.
Okay.
That works with the mayor.
Okay.
And he's never really liked me, for whatever reason.
For me, I thought it was another one because another mayoral aide. Because I've seen him. He was interviewed before. It was like during the January 31st State of the City, and he had a beard, you know, and they were talking about this is around the time when the protesters was allegedly interrupted or bum rushed.
Okay, well, I got to check that video out if it's out there. But anyway, so I'm there. I should save this for Anthony, but the hell with him. He misses out. He's going to ask me anyway. So I'm like waltzing around, people coming up to me. I'm shaking hands. Miriam Paris shows up.
Wow, okay.
And so as Miriam Paris was there, Al Tillman was there. He kind of gave me a big bear hug and said, "Hey, what's up, buddy?" And you know,
right.
And of course, Danny. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you, Ed.
How about that?
That's Al Tillman. We've had him on the show.
Yes.
So, and I just sent Danny a message saying I want him to be on the show. So let's look at that.
Very good picture. Very good picture. I love it. Love it.
Yeah. Actually, that was Yurak who went with me and took these pictures. Ed, can you get the other one with Miriam in the background and Danny? Yeah, that's the one I want to show people. I think that's a beautiful picture.
That's supposed to mean what? I got smoke coming out of my ears or something? I've been eating
that's
spicy
you.
You sit between those guys sometimes?
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
Okay.
Anyway, it gives him really like white hair. Your hair's not that white.
No, I mean, but I have like some gray streaks going on. So.
Anyway, Ed, can you put up another picture? Okay.
You already asked me, Herb.
Thank you.
You like to ask me once, Herb.
I know why you threw that one in. I guess you want to make people laugh. Anyway, so it was a very interesting time. Then we started, you know, like...
There you go, Herb.
Okay. There we go.
Okay,
that's a wonderful...
Herb?
Thank you, my
brother.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. I want to talk to Yurik. Yurik, that one is a perfect picture. That you got to have an eye for that shot. It's a great moment that you captured. Would you, Chatters, agree?
Yeah, Yurik, you did great photography there. You got a picture of Danny
that's
and Miriam Paris in the
wonderful,
background.
wonderul shot. Miriam Paris, as she's looking at him, he captured a great moment.
The
there.
guy in the way back there, all the way there, right there, he looks like he's stalking.
Actually, he was there
like
protesting.
He's stalking Danny.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Like,
This guy was protesting with us.
I'm going to get you.
Boy, if you want for these cameras, boy, I'm going to get you.
Boy, come over here, boy.
Yeah, go around the corner. Get around the corner when the cameras leave.
Let me mind keep them jeans, boy.
No, actually, Diaz, the guy is good. He's anti-establishment. He was the one that David Lucas basically said to him, "Let's step outside if you want to settle this." And Danny was really cool about it. Said, "No, sir, I'm not about to do that," because Danny's just a good guy, and he's kind of one of us. What?
Who wanted to go outside? What happened? You see somebody wanted to step outside?
Yeah, David Lucas threatened him to fight him.
Oh, because he's going against Elaine?
Well, because no. It was another issue that they were dealing with the Democratic Party. He was the head of the Democratic Party for Macon, Georgia. Basically.
Well, I got to tell you something. If you say anything against them Lucases in this town, they're going to say you're racist. That's their...
Well, anyway, he's running against Lucas now.
You say anything against Lane Lucas, you're a racist.
Well, he's running against Lucas now.
She needs to get out.
Yeah.
So what are they going to say?
She's old furniture.
Well, what do you mean?
She's old furniture. She's useless.
What, collecting dust?
Danny needs to take her place. In my humble opinion.
Yes, very humble. DS Photo Guy says, dude's only 25. I think he should come back in about 10 years after he gets
that's what I'm responding to. I'm responding to what he said. That this guy's a good guy, and he's kind of one of us. He hangs out at Roasted. He's just a young man that I've always known to be the coolest guy. He hangs around with Paul Bronson, by the way.
Right.
You know Paul Bronson.
He ran for mayor a few years back.
Yeah, I saw him. Well, this is last season. But I saw him there, and I'll tell you how that experience went when Anthony gets here.
Oh.
But anyway, I got to see basically all the politicians that will come out and support Danny. So.
Well, you need all the support you can get, and I'm like, age doesn't mean that much as far as like, because there's a lot of people who are pretty much advanced in age, and the thing is, some of them are just some of them can be in their 40s, 50s, and 60s and still be totally.
What the hell are you looking for?
I'm looking for other stories.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, looking for other stories. But it's kind of I wish him the best. I don't know if having experience or lack thereof is going to make him a better person. Many ways, if from a certain point of view, it probably makes him give him an advance. It gives him an advantage in some cases, may give him a disadvantage or a hindrance. Having too much experience, it would probably make him be just as corrupt as other guys. If they want something new blood, they want you got to have it really new.
Well, he's running against Lucas, which I think is
Wow.
Which I think is in and itself publicity.
Okay. I see.
All right, what do we got going here?
Well,
All of a sudden,
I was trying to find some stories, but there were some stories that just came out after we had our show.
What about that slap guy?
Oh yeah, there was a story about the slap guy.
Update. You just had that one.
Yeah, there was an update on the guy who slapped the the toddler, 19-month-old toddler, black baby that a white couple adopted.
Yes.
They called him, stop that N-word baby, Well, there was some new updates that says that Joe Ricky Hundle, the man who slapped and called a 19-month-old baby N-word, has lost his job, and the man's behavior was much worse than what it was originally reported. It said that he allegedly fell on the mother in his drunken stupor. His mouth was on the mom's ear, she said, and made even worse racist remarks that cannot be heard by anyone else. The company, in part, had to say this to the incident. We wish to emphasize that the behavior that has been described is contradictory to our values, embarrassing, and does not in any way reflect the patriotic character of the men and women of diverse backgrounds who work tirelessly in our business. End quote. The company did not say whether Hundle resigned or was fired. He still has the federal charge to deal with. So basically, he was insulting to the woman's adopted child of a different ethnic group and calling him a racial slur, but also was under the influence as well, according to the update. He was drunk.
Well, we knew he was drunk.
No, they didn't mention he was drunk. I didn't.
In the first story.
Really?
Yeah, they mentioned that he was drunk. That he was drunk and he went over and beat the child.
Mm-hmm.
Basically slapped him around.
Yeah, slapped him around.
Yeah.
But I didn't. But I was just from the update. I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't think I mentioned that he was.
Hey, Vorpal,
we definitely know now, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, Vorpal said you have to be drunk to talk like that.
Very true.
Well, unless the guy's going insane, they gotta. Well, he was insane to be drunk to begin with, but.
Wow. Yeah, that is true. No child should go through that. Where the guy
said that he smelled of alcohol, not that he was drunk. Well, maybe that's what you read, but what I read on this was that in fact he was drunk.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That he had been drinking or some bullshit that was out there. Anyway,
well,
I'll try to get that story up.
But people reek of cigarette smoke, but they don't smoke.
Right. It could be like you.
You could have spilled some
alcohol. You hang
alcohol.
around with me, you start to smell like cigarette.
Yeah, but I was just saying that he was also drunk, well, at least in the stupor, or at least the degree of drunkenness that he had. that he was in a stupor.
Well, you have to be, like Vorpal said, you have to be drunk. What else would it have been?
Mm-hmm. You're right. No person sober would actually do something that cold. I mean,
yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. It's 8:21 right now. I had some other stories about Lakers owner Jerry Buss passes away following a battle
I'm a winner.
Cancer.
I like to win, guy.
Yeah. Legendary Los Angeles Laker owner and real estate magnate Jerry Buss passed away on yesterday, February 18th, due to complications from cancer, according to the Los Angeles Times' Mike Bresnan. He was 80 years old.
Mm-hmm.
LA Times' David Warden confirmed that Bresnan's report. Buss died Monday of an undisclosed form of cancer at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, according to his longtime spokesman, Bob Steiner. The Lakers organization later confirmed Buss's passing on Twitter and also released a statement on the team's official website. Said the longtime Lakers owner, Dr. Jerry Buss, passed away today at 5:55 a.m. after a long illness. We have not only lost our cherished father, but a beloved man in our community and a person respected by the world basketball community, a statement released on behalf of the Buss family. Dr. Buss has been hospitalized much of the past 18 months in the battle which slowed his amazing strength and will to live. It was our father's often stated desire and expectation that the Lakers remain in the Buss family. The Lakers have been in our lives, and we will honor his wish and do everything in our power to continue his unparalleled legacy, the statement concluded. Survived by his sons and daughters, all of Southern California, 8 grandchildren, his former wife Joanne of Las Vegas, half-sister Susan Hall of Phoenix, a half-brother and step-brother from Star Valley, Wyoming.
Okay. Wow. Mm-hmm. Well, another one bites the dust.
Yes, yes.
Oh, by the way,
right.
Remember George Steinbrenner?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he died.
Yeah, he died too.
Yeah.
And they all die like in a young kind of age. 80s is still young, I think. I don't know.
80s still young.
I think so.
I guess
80s that old. Isn't it?
Well,
I mean, I'm not there yet, so I don't know.
I mean, if you're 100-year-old, if you're 100-year-old, yeah, I guess
think
80 would be
years old
considered
is
young.
not that old. Look, my grandmother lived to like 100 and freaking who the hell knows that? Nobody knew her age. But she was definitely over 100.
Mm-hmm.
And my father's mother.
Yeah, my dad only lived to be 76. He didn't see 80. I mean, it would be
80. Your father was how old when he passed?
He was 76.
70. See, that's my mother's age. Mm-hmm. My mother was 77.
Mm-hmm. Gamer Girl asked about the GBI report. Gamer Girl, the GBI report did not come out yet.
No,
but they did release a story yesterday of an incident that happened in 2010.
Yeah.
About that run-in that Sammy Davis had with a officer. At the Kroger, which is like 2010. He never had a record of him, but I think this is a preface trying to make him look bad now.
Right, and tell her the whole story. They put out a report, or the story, as Ed was saying, that talks about the incident
you have the story?
No,
with Danny at the Kroger's, and that Danny was a schizophrenic, and that he had, been arguing with the managers, and this whole story to try to, like Ed said, make him look bad before they put out the GBI report. But now, as far as the GBI report, and I'll let Anthony talk about it more. He's more involved with that. The press talked to him yesterday about his response to this story that came out in the GBI report. And so, it kind of blew up. Right now, I'm not really concerned about the GBI report, and because I think in the end, things are already going to change in Macon. I think this whole craziness that's going on with Junebug is actually going to do some change.
Yeah. I was checking out that story because I saw what was Mrs. Davis, Cheryl Davis's sister or daughter on there? She had tears in her eyes or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe because of this report. But anyway, there was a story. WMAZ, Macon police says that Sammy Davis Jr. injured a Kroger manager in 2010.
Yeah.
It says the man fatally shot by a Macon police officer outside a supermarket in December of last year had injured a manager during a 2010 disturbance at the same store, according to a Macon police report. The report describes the July 7, 2010 incident at the Kroger on Pioneer Avenue. The report says officers were called because customers complained that Sammy Davis Jr. was, quote-unquote, acting strange in the parking lot. The report does not describe what he was doing. But the report says Davis allegedly resisted when store employees tried to restrain him. A store manager, Mark McWilliams, suffered minor injuries when he struggled with Davis, according to the report. The 2010 report says officers were told, quote, Davis was not taking his medications for schizophrenia, and this is how he acts sometimes, unquote. Davis was taken to a hospital for observation, but the report does not indicate that he was charged with any crime. As we know, that Davis was shot to death by Officer Clayton Sutton on December 21st, 2012, outside the Kroger after the two men reportedly struggled. Macon police have not described why Sutton was called to the store or why the two men fought. But they said Davis had no police record and that Sutton was not serving a warrant that day. The GBI is investigating the December fatal shooting. Sutton remains on administrative leave, which is standard when an officer is involved in a shooting.
Wow.
It'll be 2 months.
2 months. And now they're saying they're going to take the GBI report and give it to somebody else as well.
Wow.
Anyway, we'll see what happens with that.
Still, no reason to shoot a guy 3 times. Once is enough.
Right. That's the point I wanted to make early on was, look, just because he was schizophrenic,
right,
doesn't make him a target for the police to shoot him and use that as an excuse. I don't think the Sammy.
That's what they're doing, Gamer Girl. They dug this up, which is probably the only thing they have, trying to make it look like he's bad. And I read some of the opinions
and
on
is
some
it,
of the news
is it,
things that.
Go ahead.
Let me tell her. I read some of the opinions on some of the news paper websites that people are saying that, oh, it's good, and they're all saying that, yeah, he should have been shot and he should have been killed and all this stuff, and you know, it just shows you what we're up against here in this town, a bunch of redneck crackers.
Well, once again, it's ironic, and according to somebody, some source that I overheard, I don't know if it was Al, told me this, but that this whole thing with the video that talks about, the video that was put out along with the story that you're reading, that Chief Burns was upset that they let that out or leaked it out.
Right.
Once again, and oh, by the way, you know, we're trying to get a hold of Cheryl. And she's not returning Anthony's calls. I'll tell Anthony and ask him when he gets here sometime at 9:30.
Okay. Definitely. But we definitely give our support to the Davis family because they are really hurting. I know they have to be going through a lot of stuff, grief, especially going on with 2 months going on without their loved one.
Yeah, well.
Davis wasn't guilty all along. He's verbal
bites.
Well, I do.
He's guilty of what?
Verbal bites. Because he's talking to himself.
That makes perfect sense. Look, if you want to have a call, want to give us a call, just call us at our number.
I suck goats.
Yes. 254-478-254-6287 or I suck goats. Yes.
Call us.
Give us a call.
And verbal bite, give us a call.
Yeah. I suck goats.
Gamer Girl. I like.
Yeah, I'm schizophrenic and so am I.
Well, I have some other stories of some crazy stuff. Talk about really crazy. There was a man recently, a Detroit man, is paying child support for his son who died 25 years ago. But what's more bizarre is that even after the man showed court officials his boy's death certificate, they still are not sure on how to best deal with the issue, even though they admit the support payments are a huge error. He said he never questioned the amounts before because he figured they were for a son who'd been born before the deceased one. So far, Lionel Campbell, the guy who's been paying these amounts, been given 3 different amounts owed after 3 audits. At first, it was $40,000 plus. Now it's down to $6,460. But he doesn't believe that he owes that because he's been paying support for the 2 children over 25 years. The mother of Campbell's children declined to speak on the matter, though the tax deadline is approaching and Campbell says that the issue is not resolved fast, his refund can be swallowed up for money he does not owe. This is from News1.com about this guy Lionel Campbell who's paying child support on a child that died 25 years ago.
Wow. Oh my God.
And that's
how much money did he give again?
It says 40,000.
Wow.
And then it drained it down to 6,000 because it's like, you really didn't have to pay because the child's dead. And they passed 18, so once they pass 18, you don't have to pay child support anymore. So something's really fishy about that. It's like they know that they made an error, but he's still paying. Yet neither the government or his ex wants to pay him back. Neither one want to repay. It's like something's fishy.
How could he not know that this kid was dead? That was his kid, man.
Yeah, that was his kid. I mean, he knew, but the thing was, the government told him he had to pay anyway. They knew it was an error, but they said, "Oh, you pay anyway." It seems like the guy is always at fault when it comes to like child.
This reminds me of the story of the guy at the well with Jesus, where he's sitting there, and first question Jesus said, "Do you want to get well?" Because his is this beggar guy, crippled guy, by the well. You know the story.
Yeah.
By the pool. That according to that time, you can get in, and it would help to heal you. Kind of warm baths. That's what it really was, warm bath.
Right.
And for 20 years, this guy couldn't get in that well. And so Jesus asked him if you want to get well. He starts to give excuses about why he never went in the well.
Wow.
And so then, of course, Jesus blessed him. He got up, danced around, was happy that Jesus did that. And later on, ran into Jesus again. And Jesus says, "Stop sinning, or something worse may happen to you." Okay? Now, why would he say that to that guy? Because the guy became complacent in his state. And it was easier for him to beg than it would have been for him to walk around and be like everybody else.
Right.
And so it relates to this story that we're talking about.
Right.
Where this man paying this child support couldn't figure out a way not to do that. If he knew the kid was dead, why in the world would he just not go to a government agency for 25 years? He couldn't figure out a way to stop that shit.
Well, the thing is,
come on, man.
Well, look. Hear me out. The guy had 2 children. Well, actually, he was stepfather of the other one. So I guess he had to pay the second one as well, who was born before he had his other son, Michael, who died of, according to the story, died of acute meningitis at the age of 3, 25 years ago.
So that's one down. He's not paying for that kid. He's dead.
Yeah. But he thought he was paying for the other one. So it's originally from Detroit. Campbell now is living in Kentucky. In 2011, he began questioning why he was still paying child support on a child who died back in 1988. Now, at first, he said he never questioned the payments because he thought they were for an older son that he fathered with Michael's mother. He was born 7 years before Michael, and the child now is 34. He's 34 years old. So, that leaves the question: how did somebody screw up this predicament? There was a footage of the newscast. I don't know if Ed, you got?
Yeah, but it takes me a little bit to get it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Expect me just to snap it up there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting it's the Wi-Fi. Yeah, I should.
You're not doing your homework.
My mistake.
You're not doing your homework.
But anyway, it says that he said that he lives several states away is making his fight to clear his name is making it more difficult for him. It says Channel 7, the story says, asked a Wayne County friend of the court how a man could be responsible for paying child support on a dead child. Spokesperson said that no one ever told him that the child was dead because he must have lived several states away. And they also added that because they're low on staff and caseloads or enormous mistakes were made. It's like, jeez. It's like just lackadaisical city government work is just running rampant. Not just in Macon, but nationwide or certain states.
I'm wondering if there's any story.
They got a I don't give a shit, and that's not my job, and if I don't do it, somebody else will do it. You can't make me do what I don't want to do.
Right. That's very true. That's just terrible. But
See if you could bring up that story on Danny Glover here. And I wonder if there's any, I gotta check MAC. See if there's anything about that.
Okay, let me see if I could find that, because I did see a little bit of it.
See if there's any video put out.
Well,
C-Flock must be from Macon.
Okay.
Oh.
C-Flock, you're from Macon?
Yes. As Irving mentioned earlier, Danny Glover, 25 years old, now the Hollywood actor from the Lethal Weapon movies. Yeah. Now there's a totally other different Danny Glover. He says he wants to make the District 3 seat in the Macon-Bibb consolidated government. Glover is 25 years old. He's no stranger to the political ring. He chaired the Bibb County Democratic Party from January to May 2011 after losing the Macon City Council District 2 race to Tom Ellington. It says during his campaign announcement yesterday afternoon, where Irving was attended as well as Al Tillman, Glover said he wants East Macon, where his grandfather was born and raised, to lead the way in economic development. He says that we can continue to do more of the same and get the same fruitless results, or we can take the road less traveled and embrace opportunity to change East Macon. We can take on our problems head on, my friends. I'm here to tell you that today, East Macon, we can and we will do better. It says longtime Macon City Council member Elaine Lucas announced last week that she will also run for the District 3 seat.
Right, they're both going against each other.
She needs to retire.
And the old guard with the new guard. And that's really what this is about. Yeah. I mean, I think it's exciting.
Yeah, basically, young,
that's a great picture.
Yeah, it's kind of like the young's taking away the torch
after
the old guard refuses to pass it along.
Right. Well, the old guard, remember, her husband was the one who challenged him to walk out, step outside, and we could settle this. And his response was, no, sir, I wouldn't do that.
What are they settling? What was the argument?
It was some kind of a disagreement within the Democratic Party that he was the leader for Macon, of the Democratic Party for Macon, and they were having a meeting, and Elaine and David were basically arguing back and forth in this meeting regarding some direction that Danny wanted to bring the party to. Mm-hmm. More progressive party, young, including the young. And somehow something was said that didn't go well, and Danny resigned.
Right.
And it was news in town. So believe me, Danny is a new guard for the city. And we hung out. We've had beers in bars. He's a good guy. He's just one of us, you know.
Right.
And plus, as it was said, he's got the history. He works with the inner city youth now. When he went to the University of Tennessee, I think it was, he worked in that community building. We, building programs for kids and just volunteering.
Yeah.
And then we had this principal that was also the directors of the Teachers Association here in Macon, giving the opening statement, and she really talked about Danny in levels that I didn't even know that Danny was accomplishing.
C-Flux said he found us. I guess I'm assuming through the news articles with the that he's been reading about the Morning Roast. You're mentioned in the Danny Glover thing.
Oh, really?
As co-host of the Morning Roast.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah,
I got that video.
Oh, you do?
You ready for it?
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Go for it.
Let's roll.
Well, you got to preface it because you.
Well, anyway, the preface.
The father of the child support.
Yeah, the father of the child support paying child support of a child that was dead.
Yeah.
And he's.
I think that's stupid.
Yeah, I think it's stupid on the government's part, but let's go.
On many levels.
Father is still paying child support for this little boy, his son, who died 25 years ago. Tonight, 7 is taking action for him, asking the question, why?
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us on this Friday evening. 7 Action News reporter Kimberly Craig has been trying to get to the bottom of this confusing case.
She's live in our newsroom right now. Kim, we understand officials at the front of the court admit there was a big mistake.
They sure do, Carolyn. They blame it on human error, and they call it regretful. But they say they are low on staff, and the caseload is high.
It took a lot out of me.
Lionel Campbell lost his youngest son, Michael, to acute meningitis. He and the woman with whom he also had an older son split up. But the problem now is Campbell just realized in 2011 he was still paying child support for Michael, who sadly only lived to be just 3 years old and died in 1988.
When I went there, the clerk said, "You're right. You shouldn't be paying no money."
A spokesman for front of the court says no one ever told them Michael had died. And all these years, Campbell thought the money he was paying was back support for a son who was 7 years older than Michael. But he was told no.
Every time I say they say it's just Michael all the time.
Campbell, who now lives in Kentucky, came back to Detroit to front of the court to begin asking questions because after mistakenly paying for 2 kids for so long, Campbell cannot understand how he still owes anything. So he asked for an audit, and he gets a different amount still owed each time, from nearly $43,000 to $33,000 and then $19,000. Campbell says even some front of the court clerks were baffled.
The lady said, "You're right. How is you supposed to be paying on a child that's been dead almost 23 years?" I said, "I don't know."
At the end of his road, Campbell called Action News. We contacted court officials who said they would look into his case for us and came back and admitted there were some errors in their calculations, so they expedited another audit. Now they say Campbell owes about $6,000.
And the lady down there told me, she said, "Ain't no way you're supposed to be paying child support for a dead child." And I said, "Well, that's what they got me doing."
Campbell's case is complicated by gaps in his employment and surcharges on arrearages that were once likened to loan sharking.
The policy of the surcharges was so that there be a deterrence to not getting behind in your child support. It was kind of a punishment, if you will.
Attorney Barry Fain specializes in family law, and he says anyone with child support issues should take care of them quickly, or it could become
a major mess. And intercepting of income tax refunds, having your driver's license taken away, your occupational license taken away, not being able to travel to a foreign country because your passport is blocked.
And officials for front of the court believe the errors and calculations in this case are isolated and not systemic. And of course, Lionel Campbell says he is going to be seeking another audit. And we should also point out that we did want to talk to Michael's mother, the child's mother, and all of this, but she refused to comment on this story. Back to you.
All right, Kim. Now, what about friend of the court? Are they saying why 3 audits have resulted in 3 different amounts for this man?
And that's the perplexing thing. It's like if there should just be one right answer, but they say there's really no clear answer as to why they've had multiple amounts given. But of course, we may find out when that 4th audit is done. Back to you.
Wow, sounds like a big mess. Thank you so much, Kim, for getting to the bottom of it.
Well, there you have it. There's the story.
I still think the guy's an idiot.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it's not a crime to be an idiot, though. Otherwise, he would have been in jail would have gotten life. But anyway, as far as the guy, it's not that I mean, I'm not saying that he's the father of the year, but come on, that's just straight. That's what you call just parental embezzlement right there. Yeah. You're paying tens of thousands of dollars for over 20 years for a child that's dead, and your wife or baby mother doesn't tell you about it.
I'm telling you, I think everyone.
There's a lot of guys who work out of state trying to make ends meet and give the check to them, and then the mother of his children just happen to forget that the child is no longer one of at least.
Well, wait a minute, that's just kind of putting too much on weight on the mother. Why didn't this guy have any kind of relationship with this kid? How the hell in the world does it take you 25 years to find out that your
Well, why does the mother didn't even try to tell him?
Screw the mother.
Well, that's what he did, but unfortunately, the government, him and the mother screwed him back.
Don't become like Anthony.
I'm not trying to be, no. You don't try to be all like me.
No. Okay? Listen. All I'm saying is this, okay? Mm-hmm. He was the father of that kid. He obviously had no relationship with that kid. Is that the mother's fault?
Well, according to the government, probably so. Man. Because look, come on, nothing.
I'm just saying, he's a bad father.
When they have child, when she's a bad mother, for not even to tell him that the home flesh and blood is dead.
I think the guy's an idiot.
Well, and she's a thief.
Whatever.
And the government is a thief.
No doubt.
They're both thieves. They both should be in jail for embezzlement. And I'm not trying to be. I'm just saying what's going on. I'm not saying it's wrong.
I'm just telling you that I believe this guy's an idiot.
Yeah, and the government's full of shit.
25 years, the kid is dead.
And how come she couldn't call him? Don't you know there are guys that are working out of town? Maybe he's a truck driver. We don't know what type of profession he is. He's working out of state, and he's giving out check, and then all of a sudden, for a decade or two, he didn't know. Nobody didn't tell them.
I agree
yes, Gamer Girl, yes, they're both wrong, but the mother should have said something.
I agree with C-Flux. We need to take a lesson.
She's patting her purse with some money. She's good and hell well that her child was. She should have said something. Bottom line.
Whatever. We need to take a lesson. I agree with C-Flux. Mm-hmm. We need to take a lesson, not be stupid, and move on real local issues. I agree.
Yes.
I think that numbskull, and everybody says it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's the thing, guys. That means you should not.
Okay, E. Plastic brought up the issue. She's a money grabber, and he's a numbskull.
Yeah, he's
Everybody agrees this guy's a numbskull.
Yes. Well, I don't blame. I agree.
Well,
however, she should have told him. She should have told him.
You're right. I guess in the end, she should have told him. But it's obvious. All I'm saying is, he was not a father to that kid. He wasn't involved in there. And I don't see in that story anything that he was in another country.
Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, they're both wrong. He was stupid for paying money. He should have notified what's going on, how they're doing, how they're growing, how the grades are, and anything. Wow. And the mother should be in jail for just straight up embezzlement. Because
I'm hoping, Well, isn't that embezzlement?
Yeah, that's big time embezzlement.
So
tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, that's just straight up. I mean, I know a lot of people talking about, well, you're getting bashing the mom, but look, people bash the fathers all the time, whether or not the people bash fathers on daytime TV talking about you need to pay your bills. Well, guess what? He was paying the bills. Unfortunately, he was paying it on too much.
Said next.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Let's
okay, just keep on hating. Okay, thank you. Let's move right along. Do you have any stories?
We could look them up. I had a story, but somehow.
Well, I do have one though. LeVar Burton of Reading Rainbow, Star Trek: Next Generation, has pretty much contributed the most salient commentary on Django Unchained so far. First of all, Spike Lee was talking about the movie and talked negative about the movie. Then you had Dick Gregory. Now you have LeVar Burton from Roots talking about it. Says Roots.
And Reading Rainbow.
Yes, Reading Rainbow. Says Burton was in town for the taping of Pioneers of Television, which includes an installment focusing on Roots. When a TMZ photographer caught up with him, and the interview got off to a somewhat awkward start when the photog suggested that Jamie Foxx as Django and Burton as Kunta Kinte play the two most fictional slaves in history, a remark that did not bode particularly well with the Roots actor. So, it says, is that a compliment that LeVar Burton asked? He says, I think so, said the photographer. And Burton, according to the story, Burton laughed off the compliment, but then the photographer mentioned that while many people grew up on Roots, the younger generation is raving about Django Unchained. Putting the debate to rest, Burton explained the difference between the Emmy Award-winning television miniseries Roots and the Academy Award-winning nominated Tarantino film. He says, well, quote, well, here's what I want folks to understand. Django is a fantasy, it's not history. Roots is history. For those who want to add his name on the list of critics who have been lambasting the spaghetti western, don't. In an interview with Ebony, Burton had to say this about the film. He says, I did not know that it was a comedy. I was unprepared. I saw it on Christmas Day when it opened. I had heard about it. I didn't do much reading about it. I knew that there was a controversy over language, but I did not think that it would be so funny. I thought Samuel Jackson was brilliant. The acting was superb. Leo, Jamie, Quentin Tarantino does very well of this sort of adolescent fantasy on steroids. For whatever reason, Quentin really does enjoy putting people of color in his movies, so you got to bless him for that. So that's one of the. So he says that it wasn't, he didn't fall asleep during the movie, but he just wanted to assure the people that that's still a fantasy. Roots was probably much more realistic than Django Unchained was.
Okay. LeVar Burton. By the way, I got a story on this follow-up with this McCready celebrity rehab cast member to die in 2 years. But let me tell you, that show has had some really famous stars I'm going to name out. And it seems like it's true. It almost doesn't really help them. And
it kind of hurts them.
Yeah, I think it's caused these guys to really go over the top. Look at this. Mindy McCready is the former cast member of Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew to die in the past 2 years. This 37-year-old country star who appeared on season 3 of the VH1 show where she suffered an on-camera seizure was found dead in the front porch of her Arkansas home on Sunday. Authorities said she's a victim of self-inflicted gunshot wound. Alice in Chains bassist Mike Starr, a former Real World cast member, Joey Kavar, also appeared on the show's 3rd season. Starr died in March 2011 at 44, while Kavar died at age 29, August 12, 2012. Grease actor, remember him? Jeff Conaway?
Yeah, he used to be on the show Taxi.
He was on a show in the 1st season and died of pneumonia. And Rodney King was also a cast member.
Also dead.
And he's also dead. So
it's a bad trend.
It's anyway, this guy Duprinsky says, basically is, defending his show that it didn't cause people to kill themselves.
Yeah,
that these people have an illness and that they were never really healed from it. Anyway, so what do you think of that story? That many people died from that show.
It's really peculiar about that.
Well, it shows that he doesn't produce many results, I guess.
Yeah, he's kind of like I hate to say it, he's kind of more like a snake oil salesman trying to get trying to get celebrities back on their feet when all he does is basically just fuel the fire to them. I mean, it's really bad. I don't even see why. First of all, when they have something like that, like rehab shows,
reality
like that,
shows,
reality shows like that, particularly rehab. I mean, why you want to videotape or show something like that anyway? I mean, you know that first of all, you know they're celebrities, so you know they're gonna love it when they're gonna want to be in the public eye when they have the cameras aimed on them anyway. So of course, some of them are gonna show out. Some of them, on the other hand, because they've been embarrassed and being in that predicament, they want to be shown like that. They want to be shown in a more positive light. But as far as the celebrity, actually, I don't even know if you want to call Rodney King a celebrity. He just happened to be a victim of a crime, in which because the police officers who beat him allegedly pretty much were acquitted and thus started a freaking riot due to him. And
that's his claim to fame.
Basically that's his claim to fame. He gets beaten, an inch of his life by the police, and then they found not guilty, and they started rioting. And then he still has drug problem, despite winning a lawsuit, getting $4 million, squanders it away, and then he ends up going to rehab again, still getting high and stuff. And then he finds out, he ends up dead in a pool somewhere because his girlfriend supposedly tries to help him out. He basically drowned, but of course he was not sober enough to swim to safety. But she said she tried to reach out for him by giving him a shovel, not a rope or a life preserver, a shovel. Mm-hmm. Like, come on, when you have a shovel in L.A., you're trying to bury somebody, or trying to get rid of someone. Yeah.
Wow.
Like, yes, you're drowning. Let me help you. Get the shovel. Boom. And that's how she helped him. That's how she helped him. I'm just.
I thought are we talking about this Petraeus guy that beat the girl with the?
No, I was just talking about Rodney.
That's the first thing I thought of when you did that. Hit that girl with a cricket bat before he shot her to death.
No, but the thing is, I was just saying that his girlfriend, possibly, I'm just saying she probably hit him in the back of the head with a shovel, and probably said she tried to help him out by trying to get that same shovel to hope for him to reach, but obviously it didn't work. Unsuccessfully.
Well, and there's another story about this guy being, he's incredibly kind and gentle human being. That's, Pistorius.
Pistorius. Yeah.
The Blade Runner guy.
Yeah.
So people are now defending him as an incredibly kind and gentle human being. I just have a hard time believing that.
Do you think, Anthony, may be true that there may be a dark side to the lights, dark side, light side, yin and yang thing going?
Yeah, why not? I mean, who knows what? Everybody gave him credit for what he did and accomplished, but maybe there was some kind of an inner demon about him
being with a beautiful woman. Like, does he really deserve to be with a woman that beautiful?
No. About his legs.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Very psychological.
Because I don't have any legs. How this hot woman is with me, or something like that? Or?
No, I got just the idea that he doesn't have legs, and maybe he's looked at his stumps and wondered, why wasn't I born with legs? And
yeah. Right. Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like,
and he didn't lose him in some accident.
Yeah, he was born without.
Yeah, he was born without him. Mm-hmm. So maybe there was some inner demon with that.
Possibly. Like, maybe he didn't think he deserved a girlfriend, or a particular girlfriend.
No, it has nothing to do with the girlfriend. It has to do with his own demons.
Okay.
Looking at his stumps and saying, wow, why wasn't I born with legs? Blue, and that kind of stood in his mind. Mm-hmm. Maybe, humans aren't perfect. And somehow he handled that whole thing perfectly.
Yeah. I guess to a certain extent, but
I think that showed inspiration to others. But I'm sure that he has some inner demons saying, I can't imagine a guy born without legs not saying, shoot, man, what happened?
Yeah, why me?
Why me?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So maybe
despite the fact he did win a gold medal, but I guess he won a Paralympic gold medal, so I guess it's not really, that's not like as prestigious as a regular Olympic gold medal. But anyway, it's 9 o'clock right now. We went through the first hour. Hopefully, we will see Anthony in the second one.
Anthony who?
Yeah, the invisible guy. Visible guy.
The guy that used to work here?
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to dock his pay.
Wow. Doc, how do you dock nothing from nothing?
Nothing from nothing, leaves nothing.
Yeah.
But you got to have something.
They ought to play that song if you have that.
Gee, I'll just whip it out of my ass like that, Derek, just for you.
Well, you have. Hey,
yeah, I might have it, but
I'm just checking out the chat.
Now, if I had high-tech equipment,
well, yeah, quite sure.
I could whip it out of my ass.
Yes, figuratively speaking, of course.
And we're going to go to break now.
Yes, I was just reading what Fisher Gamer Girl says. I love Dr. Drew, but these people have addiction, so the chances of something like this happening on this show are pretty high. Because I did see. Yeah, I did remember that episode of Mindy McCready getting that seizure. That was kind of scary. That was scary. But anyway, it's 9:01 right now. Go on 9:02. We'll be right back. a.m. Eastern Standard Time in Macon, Georgia. Live from the Nut House. This is the morning roast in their second hour. It's 44 degrees outside in Macon, Georgia. It's cloudy with some thunderstorms. It's going to be a high of 63 and a low of 31. Who let the nuts up?
Yes. Just to see what we're talking about with the chatters. Some of the chatters were on Volpobite to call in.
Wow.
So I challenge you to be a man and call in. I want to hear your voice.
You want to be Lois. Gamer Girl says, I don't know.
Hi, this is Volpobite.
How
you guys doing?
Gamer Girl says, I don't know, you might sound like a 7-year-old little girl. That's why you won't call in.
That's right. You guys tell him. He needs to man up and call in.
Yeah, well, whatever. Vorb, Gamer Girl, Sabuki, whoever. I know the long distance may kill you, Sabuki, but please don't hesitate to call. We probably like to hear from you. And if you know the number is 478-254-6287 or I Suck Goats.
Yeah.
Yes.
You what?
I Suck Goats.
Alright. Anyway.
Give us a call. Give us a ring.
Yeah, give us a ring. We'd like to hear from you, Vorp.
Yes.
I think the chatters also do.
Yes, we do. I do have an update, some breaking news here, breaking local news. There's a Highway 129 shutdown in Gray, and there's some power outages. An 18-wheeler hit a utility pole in Gray this morning at the main intersection of highways 129 and 22. The utility pole is dangling by wires, and police want you to avoid the area. All traffic is being diverted from the area and asked to use an alternate route. Trucks are routed down the bypass through Turner Woods. If you're on Highway 44, traffic turns at Madison Street. According to Gray Police Chief Adam Lowe, Georgia Power is on the scene. Police dispatch said the Department of Transportation is en route, and there were no injuries, and only the truck was involved. Thank goodness. It will take several hours before the area is open to traffic. Also, a spokeswoman for Georgia Power told 13 WMAZ that because of the accident, 1,000 customers are without service, that they should be restored by mid-afternoon. The outages are from the railroad tracks in Gray to the Haddock area. And there will be more updates as they become available from this story.
Now, this is where? This is in
Gray.
Oh, in Gray. So that's a town over, or the city.
Yeah.
Oh, am I right?
Right.
Now, what county is that? Is that Houston? No.
No, that's
Houston, one of Robbins.
That's one around. That'd be southbound. This is northbound, almost going to Atlanta or Athens, Georgia.
Oh, okay. I've been in Gray with David Kuzna, but
yeah.
So I've been through there. I went to Perry also.
Right.
But I just don't get out much anymore because I don't have a car. But if I had a car, I would never be home. I was always out and about.
Oh yeah,
trying to be engaged with my life, with the people out there. I was always that kind of a guy, you know, just going around the city. But unfortunately, I need rides to and fro until I get a car. Just pray for my ability to get a car.
Oh yeah, certainly. Well, I'm praying for all of us.
Even if your car was out, I can come and get you. No, I'm very giving with my car. I take people. I should take the homeless right up in Lilburn to their treatments, and I always use a car to help people. I even took a woman to her doctor's appointment for her baby, whose husband was working and he wasn't able to do that. So I just pray to God to give me a car to get around.
Yeah, I was just reading the chat room. It says Eve Plastic Camp says, did he fall asleep at the wheel? The truck driver? No, I don't know.
Did he?
They didn't specify.
Say that.
They didn't specify. Uric Wildcat, is that right at the railroad tracks? Highway 129 and 22? It may be. It's I know there's a lot of there are a lot of crossways. There's like a four-way where you hit 129 and 22. I know 129, if you go northbound, that's the way that I go when you take a left northbound. That's when you go to Athens to go to University of Georgia, that area. I usually take that route. I always go through Gray when I went to Athens. So it may be close. If it's not there, it's probably close by, very close by.
So that just happened, right? What time? That's a news flash.
Yeah, they didn't say. I just happened to see it flash on the website, Channel 13 website. No. But those who are going northbound, please definitely be careful. And plus, you know, I feel sorry for those who lost some power. They should have it in mid-afternoon, so hopefully around, I guess.
Yeah. Seaflood says, is it at the train tracks?
He said, Eric Wildcat says, I think it is at Highway 22. Yeah, somewhere in that area, in that vicinity. Yeah. In that vicinity.
Well, God bless him. I didn't say the driver was taken to the hospital or anything like that, right?
No.
Doesn't talk much about the driver.
Yeah.
It just talks about the incident.
Yeah. Okay. I guess maybe maybe the truck was involved, but they didn't say whether. Well, nobody was killed or hurt, so that's good. So that's good news.
See, I could pick up another story.
Okay.
There was so many that I wanted to talk about, and then I get on the show and I forgot what the hell I wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, there's another story I think that Spooky sent me.
Bring it on.
There's a jelly invasion at Somerset Nature Reserve that baffles scientists. Yeah, some gooey stuff going on.
That's a blob, like a clear blob.
Yeah.
Remember the Blob, the movie?
Uh-huh. Look like somebody dropped
We gotta have that picture put up so Ed can send that to Ed.
Oh yeah, I definitely will. Will do. But it's a really, really creepy story. Gamer Girl says Sabuga's being attacked by aliens.
Yeah. Go ahead, read that story.
Hey Ed, I got something for you.
Ed!
It says a weird slime has invaded a British nature park, and RSBP experts have appealed for help in identifying the mysterious substance. The clear jelly has baffled experts so far, with explanations including the idea that it is the regurgitated innards of frogs or crystal brain fungus. That's what they said. Yeah. But RSBP officials said that the slime bore the appearance of quote-unquote something living, and the public have been warned not to touch any of the pools of slime. Local folklore suggests that the jelly appears in the wake of meteor showers. Okay. The jelly-like substance has been found at the RSBP Ham Wall Nature Reserve in Somerset. Steve Hughes, the RSBP site manager at Ham Wall, said, "This past week we've been finding piles of this translucent jelly dotted around the reserve, always on grassy banks away from the water's edge. They're usually about 10 centimeters or 4 inches in diameter. We've asked experts what it might be, but as of yet, no one is really sure. Whatever it is, it's very, very weird." It The scientific speculation as to the nature of the jelly is varied. One of the more favorite explanations is that it's a form of cyanobacteria called nostoc.
Oh.
Some suggest it is the remains of regurgitated innards of amphibians such as frogs and toads and of their spawn. Tony Whitehead, an RSVP spokesman for the Southwest, said, although we don't know what it actually is, similar substances have been described previously. It says in records dating back to the 14th century, it's known as star jelly, astral jelly, or extramixum. And folklore is said to be deposited in the wake of meteor showers. Very interesting. Mr. Whitehead added, it's great that in this day and age there are still mysteries out there. We've read a few articles now and much speculation. One suggested it was neither animal nor plant, and another that it didn't contain DNA, although it does give the appearance of something living, quote unquote. Our reserve team will be looking out for the slime over the next few days, but if anyone can offer any explanations, we'll be glad to hear about it. That's something. I don't know, regurgitated innards. So basically what they're trying to say is that frog vomit is basically clear. Is that what you're
so that could just be frog vomit?
That's what they said. Said innards. So I said, well, he said regurgitated. So they said regurgitated, not defecated. So it's not frog crap, but regurgitated that usually means vomit. So you got translucent frog vomit. Okay.
I hate to say it, but it looks like sperm, doesn't it?
No, too gel.
Like somebody just whacked off there.
I was gonna say somebody must have. I thought some plastic surgeon must have cut open some breast implant because some woman forgot her payment or something for the month or something. Had it on rent. Jeez, graybeard frog barf, jelly willy frog barf. Uric Walker says, that's sick. Yeah, you tell me. Yeah, they say it's either frog vomit or something from a meteorite. I mean, what say you? So if anyone wants to give a call, hey, feel free to call. The number is I Suck Goats.
Yeah.
Or 478-254-6287.
Yeah, call and comment on this.
Please comment because just hearing our voice it doesn't do the story justice. Oh man,
good stuff.
Sabuki says, "Hey, come on! It's not appearing on your doorstep. Have some sympathy." Well,
Could you imagine that appearing on the doorstep? Somebody slips on that shit.
Woo! Yeah, transparent frog vomit. That would be really, see some tipsy looking frog just yeah.
Okay, we got a guy named Bescon who's speaking in some weird language here. Somebody tell him to speak English.
Yeah, we don't speak frog. I'm just
we don't speak
drunken frog. But it's 3 bears. Okay, 3 bears. So could it be a reaction coming up from the earth?
Well, I don't think the meteor would do that. It does mention a meteor, right?
Yeah, the local folklore suggests that a jelly appears in the wake of meteor showers. So
I see.
Like some type of warning or something. Huh.
3 Bear says it could be a reaction coming up from the earth.
Possibly, but what substance from the earth, from the ground, would turn it into jelly? I mean, unless the stuff is coming from Vaseline or something like that, or petroleum jelly.
I think it's frog vomit.
Frog vomit.
Or either that or somebody whacking off there and leaving a lot behind.
Yeah, but that's way too much.
I'm just saying.
But that's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
There must be a lot. There must be like 40. That must be a lot of real life 40. I mean, for that to be around the place, that's got to be a lot of 40, 50-year-old virgins or something who probably never touched it out, or just had bad.
That's funny.
Loose stools or whatever, bladder or something like that, and just.
Gabriel says, well, if it was someone beating you, they would have to have
elephantitis of the balls.
That's funny as shit. I can't even fit it.
Elephantitis of the balls.
Oh God! I'm serious. That's
That's got to be like about 3-4. That's like about 3-4 jars of Vaseline. They look like they just blood on the ground or something. Just
I love this shit.
Urex says it's like the hippo farting. It could be plastic bags digested.
Oh, they want to see that again?
The picture?
The hippo fart?
Oh.
Yeah, why not?
Well, why not? Shit.
Well, besides, I mean,
bring it on, Ed.
Give him some time to put some stories.
Anyway, that's funny.
Well, here's the response to Gamer Girls.
Oh my God!
Set of balls on that.
Perfect. That's the guy that did it.
Hanging out like a
He's
boss.
the culprit. Oh my, he's the culprit. This is funny shit. I love that, Ed. It's a great shot.
He's hanging out like a boss. Well, if he's the culprit, then that's probably why he's laying down. It's because he's tired from all that work.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my gosh, they're
That was funny as shit.
That's funny as shit. No pun intended. That's
boy, that's some loose stools right there, boy. I tell you, you don't have to take no Metamucil. I tell you that. That hippo is regular. If he was any more regular, he'd be unleaded.
Serious.
Use him as a fossil fuel.
Anyway. Some funny things going on here today.
Yeah.
You see, we don't need Anthony to laugh, do we?
No, not really. Especially we got videos like that and stuff in the news. I mean,
C-Flush says it looks like the Georgia GOP. Yeah, that's true.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, hippos kind of look like elephants.
Yes, my goodness. What's this world coming to? We got like vomiting frogs and farting hippos. Jeez,
and a glob of sperm on those plants.
Whatever that is. KY, I don't know. Just But here's a crazy, on a side note, some really freaky stuff. It says for CNN, it says Chapman, Mark David Chapman. The man who convicted for killing former Beatle John Lennon.
Yeah.
Wrote to New York City police officer Steven Spiro, the one who arrested him, his arrested officer, for 4 letters. It says in the letters, Chapman repeatedly tells Spiro to read The Catcher in the Rye, saying that the book would explain what much happened the night of the murder of December 8, 1980. It says he expresses an ease with the officers, saying that he hoped he could be friends, that he thought Spiro was a great policeman, and that he had felt close to him ever since his arrest. Chillingly, Chapman also wrote that others could and would have served the same purpose as Lennon. And the 4 letters are expected to go on sale this week at the Moments in Time website, which sells rare autographs and historical documents. Spiro says that they represent the only time he had arrested the only time someone he arrested wrote him letters. Why, I do not know. But they said they had been in my possession for 30 years. And I'm 66 years old, the officer Spiro said. And I'm saying, what am I going to do with these things? So I figured I'd sell them. See, these letters run between January to May 1983. So this is like a good 3 years, a good 2-3 years after Mark David Chapman was arrested. Each one is typed and includes Chapman's signature. Spiro says he wrote a few letters in return, but Chapman cut it off after a while. The two spent several hours together immediately after Chapman's arrest. He trusted Spiro, and Chapman, who was denied parole for the 7th time this past August, is serving a life sentence of 20 years to life.
Yeah.
Said that the letters will go on sale for $75,000. Says Gary Zimmett, who runs the Moment in Time site. And the site is also selling a double fantasy record album, which Lennon signed for Chapman before Chapman shot him.
Right.
For $650,000. Like, wow.
Well, C-Flux says, who would get the money for these bizarre letters?
I don't know. Spiro says it says that he plans to donate some of the money he makes for a local.
He doesn't have a choice. I don't think he can. Basically make money off of anything he does.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether he's entitled to it. They would allow him to have that money.
That's true. He says he plans to donate some of that money he makes to a local shelter for battered women, according to the story.
Do you remember John Lennon getting shot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
So where were you?
I was at home. A matter of fact, I was watching Monday Night Football with my dad, just like most every other American knew about it on Monday Night Football.
Wow.
Howard Cosell talked about it.
Really?
Yeah, he talked about it on TV because John Lennon, back in the 70s, made a guest appearance on Monday Night Football back one time when Monday Night Football was really huge and big. Yeah, back I think I want to say like mid 70s. When it used to be on ABC before it lost a lot of ratings, and then they moved it to.
So you remember Howard Cosell announcing it? And
yeah. Mm-hmm. And then after that, then after the game was over, they watched the local news and watched Nightline, and they talked about that too.
Yes, C-Flux, you're right. What a terrible day that was. Actually, I remember exactly where I was. Mm-hmm. I was working at the Essex House Hotel as an engineer in the engineering department. And I'm writing out these requisitions for bulbs that were missing in a hotel. And the radio was on, 1010 Wins, which is kind of an all news. They're advertising all news all the time.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm standing there, and they said John Lennon was just shot. Like 2 minutes, I guess, maybe. Who the hell knows how long it took? But it was the first news flash, and they still didn't have his condition.
Right.
And then soon afterwards, they broke the news that he had died, and it was like devastating to me because I had just finished buying the Double Fantasy album.
Right.
I had just finished, which had just come out, and my brothers and I were driving through that area of Manhattan. It just so happened, playing Double Fantasy, and we passed John Lennon's house just less than a week before.
Right.
And driving through Central Park, and my brother Edward Mampa, who comes on our show, was the one doing the driving. Right. And we drove right in front of the Dakota, and we were like playing the records and just having a good time. And not too long after that, of course, a couple of weeks later, I hear this news: John Lennon was shot. And
it was quite it was devastating. Even though I really listened to him because I at that time I did look a little bit. I did like the music because they seemed to be they weren't like super like crazy, but they were quite the Beatles were very very creative, very influential. It's kind of funny. I stopped watching it and stuff because people were pissed off because Michael Jackson bought the rights to the Beatles songs and stuff, and then Nike paid like $1 million or $2 million just for their Revolution, for their Nike shoes, sneaker shoes for Revolution, which a lot of people were pissed off, and people were kind of pissed. I really think they have ulterior motives. I don't think they're pissed off with why they use the money for the music. I think they're pissed off because they weren't the ones that are getting paid to sell that money, sell that $2 million to Nike to use that commercial. I think this thing is just personally just sour grapes, but but still, I really didn't like it that much because at the same time people were pissed off about using that, but at the same time no one were pissed off when California Grape used Marvin Gaye's "Heard It Through the Grapevine" for the California Raisins. I remember Paul Mooney, the comedian, was talking about, how come nobody didn't say anything about it? They had these little Negro-looking raisins. I heard it through the grapevine. You know.
Yeah, they were Negro
looking. Yeah, because they were kind of dark and
no, weren't they? They were supposed to represent.
Yeah, they were kind of. They did have some black features.
I guess a Motown song.
Yeah, Motown. Yeah, it's a Motown song. Yeah.
Actually, the Temptations, didn't they?
It was they're supposed to be the Temptations, but really, but I think
that's
Marvin
Gaye.
Yeah, Marvin Gaye did his version of it was much more popular than Temptations and Glass Knight and the Pips version of Heard It Through the Grapevine.
Well, let's go back to the chatters. They're saying, all right, let's read. Chuck could have been, but he had better ideas than most sober people.
Yeah.
Imagine giving peace a chance, and what an awesome idea and way to live. I agree.
Yeah, I was just reading what I was trying. What was it? Goodness. Sabuki says, "Time to be unpopular." Lennon was a hippie prick. Dang, man. Why you hating?
Yeah, what is that all about? He's hating.
If you're gonna hate on Russell Brand, that dude, that pirate-looking Joker, like looking like look like a cross between Captain Sparrow and Dudley Moore from Arthur and stuff. Which kind of coincidental that he kind of does look like. Which kind of reminds me, the Captain Jack Sparrow character does have a little bit of Keith Richards and Dudley Moore because he always walking around drunk like Dudley Moore did in Arthur.
Yeah. Well, Sabuki's not a big fan of John Lennon. Then he says, "Look, that's because he was a shit-faced most of the time." He doesn't like John Lennon. No, you don't like him, I guess.
I mean, well, yeah, I can understand you hating Lil Wayne, but John Lennon, come on.
Yeah, come on, kid.
At least the man was creative. Come on, get the credit where credit is due.
This is one of your compadres. I thought you would like John Lennon.
One of your countrymen, man. Come on. I mean, that dude. But Russell Brand dude look like a pirate sometimes. Like he about to come out, like Arthur. Excuse me, I think I was caught between the moon and New York City. But anyway,
look what he says. It seems to be mainly Americans that elevate Lennon to almost God status. And dude was a hippie musician that rehashed religion to try to elevate himself. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So C-Flux says peace
That's
is
not... That's a disdain for John Lennon, I think.
Dang. Peace is not communism. Wow. That's kind of bad. Yes, Plastic County. Yes, he died in 1980. Yes, December 8th, 1980. I remember because it was a Monday, and I remember the weekend before that, I went to the movies for the very first time. Actual movie theater, not watching the movie at TV, but actually went to a movie theater box office and paid a ticket and everything.
When is that?
Back in December 6, 1980. It was that Saturday.
Okay.
And I went with my parents and my uncle and my sister. We went to see two movies. My dad and my uncle went to see this docudrama called "In Search for a Story Jesus," where they talk about the Shroud of Turin. And my mom, my sister, and myself, we went to see the Disney animated cartoon, The Aristocats.
No.
But that was the first whole movie I've ever seen at a movie theater at that time. So
that was a cartoon, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a cartoon. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Fisher Gamer
Girl says... They don't make them as well anymore.
Yeah, no, they don't make them like that. It says I wasn't even a year old yet. Wow, so you were born in 1980. Oh, okay. I had a video of the story. Let me see if I can get it. It was a story from Monday Night Football where John Lennon made a visit on Monday Night Football.
You had that?
Yeah, this was back in 1974.
Oh.
And I have another video. Hopefully, I'm trying to talk while saying it.
Okay.
Hopefully, it can be able to get it. It's basically where we hear about the news about John Lennon's death on Monday Night Football that same day. Well, not that same day, because John Lennon made an appearance on Monday Night Football back in '74, and then 6 years later, you hear the news from Howard Cosell, who was the guy who interviewed John Lennon. Do you have the?
I can't do it now.
Oh,
you gotta give me this stuff before the. You can't expect me to do this in the middle of the show.
Oh.
These
Just work on it.
Who's that? What is it, a cab driver or something like that?
Anthony.
Oh.
Windbag is here.
Oh.
Yeah, Gamer. What was it? Gamer.
You gotta give yourself. You guys gotta prepare this stuff.
Okay.
You guys gotta do reporters. You know, like prepare your stories before the show. Let me know what
All
you're
right,
doing.
yeah.
Okay, we got it. I got it.
He's got it.
We gotta get organized.
I was just reading the chat. We have 18 so far, and
You just gotta keep throwing this stuff at me.
Gamer Girl says, "I love Russell Brand. I have the hugest crush on him." I had to keep that to yourself. You might want to keep that to yourself. Like when Tony Braxton said that Jimmy said she had a crush on Jimmy Walker. That's one of the things you got to keep to yourself.
Yeah, baby.
Welcome.
How about that? The Invisible Man.
I come bearing shit. Not
Yeah, I see a lot of books. Like a freaking.
Well, speaking of.
Yeah, I've already got about 3 cups of coffee, so you're in for it today, guys.
Woo!
Okay, so you're not going to be out of your mind.
Or I'm going to be wired.
Oh.
I got caffeine in me.
Just, yeah, I know.
I missed you guys.
But, man,
Miss you guys too.
Speaking of crap, Anthony, we just previously, about a good half hour before you came in, we talked about the story where in England was a story that Sabuki showing us where there was a weird slime element that has been all over a British natural park.
Show them the picture.
Well, I walked in the right time.
Yeah.
Talking about slime.
Yeah, it said it may have something to do with the waking meteor showers, and other people say it may be regurgitated innards of frogs or crystal brain fungus. So basically it's either some type of fungus, something from meteor showers, or frog vomit.
Awesome.
Clear
That's a big
vomit.
damn frog if it threw that up.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
What's Saibuki think it is?
Uh,
I think Saibuki just went in his backyard and like blew a bunch of snot out and then called the press. Saibuki, that's your shit. You did that. Oh, we got
Gamer
22.
Girl said jizz. Yeah,
Jizz.
that's what I said it looked like.
Yes.
But that's a lot of. I mean,
Then we laughed about that, and then Ed showed a picture of a monkey with the gigantic scrotum balls.
I saw that picture
Yeah,
a couple days ago.
yeah.
The one chilling, relaxing, back like this with the nuts. Yeah. Did you put something together? That should be a picture, and then you should have something like "Welcome to the Nut House" above it.
Yeah.
You should use that for the show. Welcome to the Nut House, and then that monkey with his nuts hanging out. That's
Just a suggestion.
Let's do that.
see if that would have been like
See?
two. It would have been like two
Yeah.
monkeys with two, because there's 4 of us. You only got 2.
That's
if
right.
you would have had 2 of them together like this.
8 gallons.
Right.
By the way, C-Flux, he's a new guy.
What's up, C Fluck?
And he says, my reporter in England, who is a chemistry student, she doesn't know what it is.
That's a great story.
A lot of
Yeah.
sperm.
Thank you, C Saibuki, for sending that one. I didn't hear anything about that.
Wow.
Heard about a bunch of other crap. Have y'all? And we don't have to talk about it
All
again.
right,
I don't want
please.
to change y'all's schedule.
Uh-huh.
But have
I
y'all
mean,
heard about
we've
the
been-
Waffle House thing yet? Have y'all talked about that?
No.
No.
About how Waffle House wants to add an extra fee?
Oh yeah, that's last week.
Fee because of the security.
That's
was
only
that last week?
underground Atlanta though.
Yeah, but
What,
do you-
talking about anti-fighting
No,
fee?
Yeah.
Keep it
Yeah.
real.
Only underground Atlanta.
yeah, but do you think it's going to move into this area,
No.
in Georgia?
Really?
Please.
Because you brought up the whole thing about the 2 female cops fighting. Now that they want to add it, we'll get to it later. I don't want to mess you
No,
up.
that's a
Y'all
good,
slow up.
interesting story. Let's talk about
Well,
that.
Ed said you already talked about it last week.
No, I said that was old news.
We never
Oh,
tried
old
that.
news.
Old
But
news,
you didn't
okay.
talk about it on
No, we
here.
didn't, we didn't
Okay.
talk about it.
Okay, well, we'll get to it.
Well, I don't blame them. I mean, most...
What? Really? You're for that?
Well, no, here's the thing. Waffle houses here are used for some people who get drunk and go there to kind of bring down their highs. So
Yeah,
there's
but-
always these
but Urban,
people
who
that are
always-
high at Waffle
But who
House.
always pays that? So everybody has to pay an extra like 20 cents on their bill for the idiots that do that. See, that's where it's the same thing with the gun law. To me, you're gonna punish the respectable gun owners because of the few idiots that aren't respectable.
I hear you.
I don't agree with that Waffle House ruling.
Sounds like a jackass tax or something.
Exactly. Thank you. That's exactly what it sounds like. But anyway, let's go back to the spooge. Let's go back to
the space meteor,
the
Yeah,
space
more
ooze.
slime. Ooze.
Yes, the jelly-like substance has been found in the RSVP Hamwall Nature Reserve at Somerset, England. They're usually about 10 centimeters or 4 inches in diameter, and they've asked experts what it might be, but they have yet to conclude on it. It says it's very weird, whatever it is.
Yurak says it's ectoplasma slime from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, you know, this could be the new crop circle prank. You know, they finally said that crop circles were pranks. You've heard that there was like that father-son team that was out doing it. They admitted to it a few months ago. I read something. This could be like the new crop circle prank. You know, somebody put this crap together, threw it out somewhere.
Because Space Jizz, so now instead of making crop circles, aliens are just jerking off on the earth and just fly with.
There you go.
Come on.
Good morning, everybody.
That's sad. That's really sad, man. Aliens, if there are aliens doing that, please just date some, you know, just fall in love with some Orion chick like Captain Kirk does on TV, and just you don't have to go to the Earth and do that.
I like how we're talking about this crap, and Irvin's over there just playing with the icy hot tube.
I know.
I love it. Yeah, Irvin's the one who's doing that crap. He's the one who's put that shit out there. Yeah,
that's what it is.
It's not to be used as a personal lubricant. Or
no.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, we also talked about what's going on in the city. As you know, I was down at Danny Glover's announcement.
I saw your pictures all over the internet.
And I'm not sure if they...
But I want to tell you something I heard this morning.
Okay, tell me.
And I almost called to defend you. But I said, no, I'm not going to give these fuckers any bit
Mix in the morning?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm at the house getting my kids ready for school, waiting for my mom to come get us.
I love it.
Right? Mm-hmm. And I turn it over to that on the radio. You know, we don't have a TV, as I always say, working with Dave.
I love it.
I turn it to the radio for once to them. And they talk about the Danny Glover thing. And then they start mentioning everybody was there showing him support. And guess who they don't mention?
Me.
Yeah. And had it been anybody else in your position, they would have mentioned you. Because this is how they mentioned everybody.
Stay away from my car.
No, they didn't mention him at all. But this is how they mentioned everybody that was there. They mentioned him with a title beforehand. It was like, Unity in the Community's Al Tillman was there, support. Former State Senate, blah, 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 Marion Paris was there. And I was waiting to hear if they would say you. And he was naming all these people, and he was starting it off with giving them a title of either they ran for this office or they were in this office. So naturally, let's be honest. Had Irvin not been Irvin, they would have mentioned you. If it was somebody else that had run for State Senate 26 but didn't win, I guarantee those two knuckleheads on that show would have said, State Senate 26 candidate, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But because it was you, they didn't mention you. Yeah. And I almost picked up the phone. I said, you know what? I almost picked it up and went, look, guys, why don't you go ahead and say that Irving Martinez was there showing support too? But I didn't. So, anyway.
You know, but it goes to show
you're cooking roasted nuts more?
Well, I think that that's a good thing, actually. I don't want my name to come across their lips anyway.
No, but it shows you how unfair they are, and they always seem to claim, you know, months ago and years ago when they first started, and I did watch them, they always used to claim how they tell the truth, they're the ones that bring the truth to the city, and blah, 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 and they're the ones that tell it like it is. And I'm thinking, you fuckers don't tell it like it is. You pick and choose what you want to talk about.
Well, by the way,
you know,
Yurak let me know that in the press, they said Irving Martinez in the Morning Rose.
Co-host.
In what press?
I mean, I could go back to that.
I'm behind on press.
No, they basically wrote me up in some article saying
on the Telegraph.
The Telegraph.
Oh, great!
That I was
I'll go get the
host of the Morning Roast.
Cool.
I'm serious.
That's cool. No,
that's how it was written. You're right.
They should always do that. They should. I mean, I'm not out to try to get publicity for the actual show when we're doing this stuff.
Yeah.
But they should at least mention you that you were there.
Yeah.
That was my point.
Macon.com.
That was my point. Is that if Irving was not Irving Martinez, and he still did, and this other guy did what Irving did, and caused a runoff between Lucas and Paris, they would have mentioned you.
Yeah.
It was only that they did not mention you because they have a vendetta against you,
right?
And they didn't want to give you any credit and say that your support was behind the guy. It's all this media propaganda crap.
Well,
let's admit it. You know.
By the way, so, Amber Jones works for Fox.
Yeah, that's Amber the one Jones. You were trying to tell me on the phone about. Okay.
Amber Jones calls me over in front of everybody. Says, "Irving, give me your number."
Right.
And the guy that was, all the press was there.
Right.
Here's Danny.
Right.
Right. Here's some woman who's
I saw the pictures.
The one that always goes up to the city council and reads the script to.
Right.
I think that's who that woman was.
Right.
And here I am standing next to Danny.
Right.
While the press is right there.
Yeah, I saw.
So in other words, I was right there in the front.
Yeah.
And you would not miss me.
Oh no, I didn't see your actual footage on the news, but I saw the still shots on Facebook that you put up. I saw you standing there, and that was another thing. It was just, come on, let's admit it. Nobody wants to give I'm a kiss Irvin's ass a little bit here, which I don't really do much. But no one wants to give Irvin very much credit for anything. But let's face it, and for you out of towners that don't know the situation they're making, Irvin was really a vital point of that run.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Had Irvin not run, there wouldn't have been a runoff.
Right.
Had Irvin not run, Lucas might have never won.
I know.
And
that's what they say.
Lucas,
my critics
really
say that's the only good result I got out of that.
Mm-hmm.
To help.
Well, good or bad, depending who you favor. A lot of people didn't want Lucas back in there. David Lucas is now back in there. But regardless, is for these local media people not to acknowledge that, again, just shows you the sort of bias that these people around here have, and that they're not fair and balanced, and that they're not really reporting it. Same as with us going to the mayor's State of the City address. They want to say we crashed it, and we ambushed it, and we bombarded them, and blah blah blah.
Even though we have footage that we didn't.
Even though we were invited in, that's just my point. Is that we really tell it like it is.
Make it sound like we kicked the door down.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see their Mix in the Morning's wall post?
No, I don't go on their sites. No,
it's hysterical.
I turned the radio on. I turned the radio on to their show today for the first time in ages. So, and it was on the radio. So and I just did it because I was sitting around getting breakfast and getting the kids ready and blah blah blah. And I just turned it on. Was running around the house doing stuff. And
I think that wall post has to do with, honestly. I mean, maybe I'm a little arrogant, but our show, and the way they write it tries to be hip, and it tries to be. It says, news all the time. Let me bring it up.
What's the post? Yeah, I haven't seen it. I know nothing about it.
And
hello, guys. Let me give a shout out to everybody, Derek, if you don't mind, man. Okay. Hello, everybody. I missed y'all. You probably didn't miss me, but I missed you all the last day.
Yeah, so Boogie was laughing at you, saying, LOL, nice. I almost called to defend you.
Well, Sabuki, you might not understand. I don't want to give those two guys the time of day. I don't want them to really know. I don't want them to know that I had it on their chasing. Even though I'm willing to admit it on our show across the world here, that I did for a minute today, that I did have it on there. I just didn't want to give them the pleasure of knowing I had it on there. But I did want to let Irvin know that they had done that they were mentioning all these people out there that were supporting Danny, blah, 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 but they didn't want to mention Irving, who made a run for office.
Right.
Had anybody else been in that same position as Irvin, they would have mentioned it in that sentence. They would have said anybody else, but because it was Irvin. And that's another reason why I want Irvin to run again for something. I don't want you to
I've already announced.
I know, but then you're kind of iffy about the money and all. But I want your ass to run because I want you to either run for mayor or one of the council seats, commissioner seats. Because I want those fuckers to have to deal with you, Irvin. I want you to be out there and they can't ignore you. No. They have to report you, whether they don't want to. I want them to have to report about you every fucking day. I could be the
thorn in their side.
Exactly.
Look at how he writes it. Dropping the truth hammer and busting up the BS.
Oh, yeah, that does look like something we'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I think that's a reaction to us.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
It's a horrible graphic. That's so ugly.
I would say it would be a personal knockoff if they would have had like a bunch of nuts or
Well,
yeah, they realize we're making an impact around here slowly but surely.
What's the
anyway,
the
Free
other
Bears,
irony?
hello, you're at Wildcat. Man, I had a great time.
Well, I appreciate that. I really do.
I mean it.
Here's the thing. You're right. You told me, Irv, if you would have really run a campaign,
yeah,
you probably could have won, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree. I've always agreed with you with that. But I've always thought, look, people know who the hell I am already.
Right.
You know, I did work for the Macon Film Festival a couple of years back.
Right.
I had already had my little claim to fame as a local yokel in this city. And I used that. And of course, my picture being downtown. And I didn't really need to spend a lot of money.
Right.
And I didn't want to.
Right.
And I still caused a runoff, and I still got over almost close to 1,500 votes.
Oh yeah.
For no money except to pay for the qualifying fee.
Yeah. And you had a friend who paid for your business cards.
That's correct.
You had that business cards made up. So yeah, I mean you would have done a lot better, but you know, I just want you to be out there, Irvin. I think you bring so much to the city. Whether people like you or hate you, you bring character. And you know what, Irvin? That's why I can't wait for you to go ahead and call the press in the next week or two.
Yeah.
And go, okay, now I'm about to announce my candidacy.
Yeah,
they will show up. Go out. Well, everybody else is doing it now. You have every right to. Schlesinger's done it already. Danny Glover did it. What's his name did it?
Riggs.
Riggs. Ed DeFore
I'm ready for Office Riggs. No,
I'm waiting for Irvin to call the press in front of City Hall, right there in front of the torch, and go, because bam, I want them to have to acknowledge that you announced, like they're acknowledging everybody.
You know who
else.
I'm going to be running against, right?
What did Elaine? No, you're not.
Joe Allen.
Yeah, so you can beat that guy. I think you can beat that guy. People are tired of Joe. Joe Allen has his backbone of support because his ass has been doing this crap forever. And they feel like they just have to stick with him, but the guy needs to go.
By the way,
this is from a guy who doesn't care about politics.
I got to meet Joe Allen's son.
Yeah, Chris Allen.
Yeah. You know him?
I know of him. I never met him.
Okay. Have you ever seen him?
I've seen him on some
he's kind
shows,
of overweight.
news shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Young guy.
Kind of a spitting image of his dad.
Yeah.
To me, attitude-wise and look-wise. But
yeah.
No, Irvin, you need to go ahead and let it die down a little. Let everybody die down with their whole like Danny Glover. You know, they're on the Danny Glover bandwagon. Let it die a little. Everybody gets it out of their system in a few days, and all of a sudden, Irvin needs to be the next one in the Telegraph, standing there with his whatever. Few guys behind him that support him, going, "I'm announcing." I'm waiting for it, Irvin. I'm waiting for it. But let's just wait till this.
Oh my God!
Jr.
You know, every time I see our videos, man, I'm like, damn, no wonder people can't stand me. I have an annoying freaking voice. I swear to God.
I love it, Ed.
I see it on.
That's the whole reason I want him to have a show like this, because you gotta have a nerving voice. That's awesome. You guys look pretty good on screen last night.
Oh.
The whiny guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the guy that sometimes
talks.
Sometimes talks, yeah.
Wakes up.
And we got the mom.
Maniac,
the twinkle guy. Ed said I do this too much. The in quotes there.
See, Mix in the Morning couldn't bring this shit.
No.
You know, I couldn't have this shit.
Oh,
anyway, I'm going to invite Danny to be on the show.
Right.
I just sent him a message this morning. And I gave him the list of the people that have been on our show anyway. And I'm happy to hear, as Yurak said, that they mentioned me as the host of the Morning Roast. And, okay, here's what he wrote. Okay. About 36 supporters were in front of City Hall on Monday to bank Glover, including former mayor candidate Paul Bronson, former Bibb County Sheriff candidate Bill Lucas, and Morning Roast co-host Irving Martinez. And then he says in this article, former state senator Paris, and former school board candidate Brenda Sutton, and local activist Al Tillman.
See, and that's exactly the same list that Rick Knight said, except he left you off.
Right.
That's exactly. He said Paul Bronson, and I knew that there was, you know.
Do you think it was intentional?
Of course, it was intentional.
Okay.
Those guys can't stand us because they know that we're making an impact, and they know deep down that our show is giving them a run for the money. And we tried to sell this show long before to their boss, Lowell Register. We went to every station. The guy didn't want to give us the time of day. He didn't think we knew what we were talking about. And this was all the stations acted like that. And the thing about it is, I think they feel a little intimidated by us. Because basically we're kind of really doing what they claim they're doing. We really are telling it like it is in the city. They claim they're doing it. They claim they're cutting through the BS like you just showed me on their site. They're not really cutting through shit. They're giving out BS is what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the truth about it. So, of course, I mean,
well,
and we appreciate all of you, our viewers and chatters.
By the way, Brenda Sutton was running for a school board candidate.
No relation to Clayton Sutton.
Right. And I had donated $100 to her campaign.
Right.
And she sees me there, and it's like she doesn't know me. And it really like...
It's this mentality.
This is exactly what's the mentality
here. It's like if they think you're a liability to them in front of everybody else, they completely step on you like a roach and completely ignore you. And it shows the fakeness that Macon, Georgia has been dealing with for decades. This is
I was talking to Miriam, we hugged, and then everybody's like looking at us because the front of City Hall had a lot of people. They knew who I was. They saw me and Miriam together hugging and saying, "Oh, I'm so happy to see you." And then she walks over and kind of pulls Miriam, and I shook her hand, and she's like, and I said, whatever.
And it's funny you say that, Irvin, because here's another example. And Chuck, my buddy Chuck Clark, our buddy Chuck Clark wouldn't mind me saying this. He was telling me the same thing this weekend over the Macon Film Festival. You know who did the same thing to him this whole weekend? Chuck Clark is a fellow actor around here, does stuff with us. He recently did something called, it was back in October, it was this Spirits in October. And what it is every October around Christmas, they have actors portray famous Maconites that are buried now in Rose Hill Cemetery. And they portray them and they kind of tell their story, and they bring like a tour group through to listen to each story at these grave sites. And they've been doing it for like 4 or 5 years now. Well, Chuck Clark was doing it last October, and he was portraying Pop Walden, Jessica Walden's grandfather, right? Alan and Phil Walden from the Allman Brothers fame and the Otis Redding fame, father. Okay, Chuck was portraying him for last year's event. Well, the whole time he's doing it, I mean, Jessica's all around it. Oh, you brought me to tears. You nailed my grandfather. Alan Walden, his son. That was just like my dad. Oh, telling Chuck how great a job he did. And you were him. Well, get this. The whole festival, she completely shuns Chuck. I mean, he went up to her like 2 different times during the festival, Jessica Walden, and she completely just like pushed him off with whatever else she was doing, and completely just acted like that other stuff in October never happened. At one moment she's like, "Oh, you brought me to tears. You sounded just like my grandfather." You would have thought, Chuck was telling me, he's like, you would have thought that we at this point on, not that Chuck thought he was going to hang out with her, but just at this point on, there was going to at least be some kind of connection from that point on. Exactly. She would always at least talk to him. "Hi, how you doing, Chuck?" Give him a hug, and he said she completely just pushed him off, just completely ignored him, and went on what she was doing with some other guy she was talking to, or girls she was talking to. And it really kind of offended him, he said. And I said, "Chuck," I said, "Man, I know, but tell you the truth, Chuck, that's the way Macon is.
Yeah.
People act like it's cool to be with you. They're on your bandwagon at the moment. The minute it's passed by, if you can't do anything for them, what do? Act like they didn't ever know you."
I know.
And that's exactly the mentality of this city.
Dang. Fisher Gamer Girl says people in Macon sound like a bunch of assholes.
Gamer Girl, there are good people in Macon, but it's so damn cliquish, and it's so damn what Irvin just said. It's so damn if people look at you and they think this person's a problem to everybody else, regardless of how you acted with them on your own, your personal experience with them. If everybody else wants to make you a pariah, those people 9 out of 10 times are going to follow that lead. Instead of going with what they know about you, they're going to follow that lead and jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah.
And that's why I just for so many years never cared what anybody thought of me. and I'm a loudmouth, and I'm gonna do what I do. And I don't. If you like me, fine. If you don't, go your way. I don't have to be around you. So
I guess we can
you're
see
pretty
that.
local celebrity yourself.
I'm not a celebrity. I don't want to be a celebrity.
Well,
I just
you
want
are
to
a
tell the
local
truth.
celebrity.
I just want to tell my feelings, and I want to make it be said, and they don't like that.
I just
What's up,
want to
BS
make
photo
it-
guy?
Okay,
Well,
that's giving us a signal. We're going on break.
It's 10:01 a.m. on the live at the Nut House and the Macon Morning Roast. We'll be right back.
Yeah, baby.
I miss
Yes.
you guys.
miss
I
you
really miss even this lug over here. I miss this.
Look at that shit. I love it. There's a lot.
Back.
You're
Yes.
not back.
No, we're not
Sort
back.
of.
Our voices are back, but our faces aren't.
Yes.
Brother.
Because somebody wanted us to pick up some soap for some reason.
Yes.
Yes. It's
Pick it up.
10:08 into the third and final hour of the Morning Roast live from the Nut House in beautiful adjacent downtown Macon, Georgia.
Yeah.
It's 10:08 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 45 degrees outside Mactown with some showers. It's going to be raining today with a high of 63 and a low of 31. So grab your long johns and your umbrellas. So stay
Thank
ready.
you, official gamer girl. They just told me on the break you sent cookies. That is so
Yes,
sweet.
yesterday. Yeah.
I
You missed a
love
lot
it.
of stuff yesterday. We
I
talked
know.
about the Macon Film Festival had a record of 2,500 attendees and 87 entries.
But I question that. I saw that. And Heather and I were both looking at each other going, they have tweaked the numbers again.
Well, they did it
There
the
is
last
no
time.
way there were that was not a record crowd for the Macon Film Festival. I was down there all week.
You were there, so.
There were 2-3 years before that had a lot more people than this year.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. That was not a record crowd.
You know, I want to
I
talk
don't buy
about.
it. I mean, it was fun. I had fun, and I appreciate them showing my movie.
Look at that.
But that wasn't a record crowd.
There he is. There he is.
Thank you
That's a
very
great.
much, gamer girl.
That's a great
I got your heart.
photo here.
Oh, yeah.
Look
Very
at
good
that.
picture.
I mean,
Yes,
Anthony.
Will Grammer and myself.
Mm-hmm.
Outside with our poster above our
From
head.
Did pretty good
Going
with
on
that
a Boat
Franklin.
Productions,
you look good there,
who
pal.
was also the producer of the Art Block.
Yes, Will Grammer does some
Yeah.
great work. He's the CGI guy, good editor.
Art Block is a show that Anthony and Derek had
on
on
WPGA.
television.
Yes, last year.
And the same station
Watch
as the Mix in the Morning guy,
Yeah,
Rick Knight,
yeah.
who Anthony was talking about, didn't mention me. By the
Yeah,
way,
could be.
I think that Rick Knight never liked you. I
Probably not.
always felt that
Probably not.
when he
You
saw
know.
you.
And the very first time I was on their show was for Cuffed. When I had Cuffed, my other short film in the MAGA Film Festival 2
We
years
were,
ago.
we were on the show together,
Well, that was
actually.
my second time on.
Oh, okay.
My first was for Cuffed.
You
and
and
that
I
was,
were
that was when
together
Brad
in Mix in the
Majors was
Morning.
co-host, and then we went on again when we were trying to do our little
Yeah,
Guardian Angels
Mike,
kind of thing.
Yeah, God,
Right.
which no one wanted to
Making
get on
Nights.
board.
Something
Yeah.
called
Yeah.
Making Nights.
And then Irvin went on again on his own. He showed up with gifts one day out of nowhere.
Right,
They
out
got
of
mad at
nowhere.
that.
And
Yeah.
gave him actually making film festival stuff.
And
Yeah, they're not appreciative.
And I was actually on there once myself to promote the
Yeah.
Art Block.
Because I refused to go on there. They had to give us the time to promote it because we were part of their station and we had brought some sponsors to the station
Right.
through the
Yeah.
Roasted and Middle Georgia Talent, Greek Deli, and Athens Mattress. So they felt like they had to give us that promotion time. But I told Derek, I said, Derek, you go on and talk about it. I don't want to sit next to that guy. I just didn't want to sit next to Rick.
It was
I
kinda
knew
funny.
if I did, I was going to probably end up getting in a fight with him.
It was kind of funny. The other guy was not Rick, but the other
The one before Gary,
Yeah, before
Brad
Brad.
Majors.
Yeah, Brad Majors. Yeah. He was talking about because it was the Art Block premiered on my birthday,
Yeah.
and it was the day before, so it was his birthday that day. So it was like, how about that, back to back?
Yeah. So.
That was really good. That was
Anyway, enough about those.
Let's talk about what just happened outside real quick. Once again,
Yeah. Pretty funny.
pretty funny.
I can go take a picture.
We're on break, and Ed and I are having a cigarette on the side there, and Anthony's with us.
I'm talking
Next
to
thing
him.
you know, this big city truck comes and crushes
The sign,
the sign to our.
the entrance. There's a sign. There's a big yellow sign that says, this is the such and such park. No loitering, no drugs, no alcohol, blah blah. All those rules.
It's a big sign.
It's a
that
big
we have
yellow
at our
sign. It
entrance.
goes up about, what did you say, about 7 feet tall?
Yeah, I would say.
7 feet tall.
Yeah, about 7 feet.
Anyway, the city truck with a truckload full of dirt
Yeah.
is trying to back into the driveway. and absolutely crushes the whole like right side of the sign.
Yeah.
Just goes,
completely crushed.
so of course we see it. We're watching them do it. One of the guys gets out of the city truck, looks at it, jumps back in, and they take off and leave. Of course, Urban and Ed got the number down to the truck. So
Yeah, now I gotta go let my landlord know that yellow sign is gone. Yeah, well, pretty much.
it's not gone, but it looks pretty bad.
It's
Ed's
been
gonna go
over.
take a picture of it.
Yeah.
But
It's really been over, yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of South Macon, Seaflux.
Yeah.
yeah,
You probably know the area very well.
we'll say this much: off of Houston Avenue.
Well, it seems like this area, this complex has a lot of accidents. This is the same kind of accident that happened like right around my room that we talked about.
Well, guys, you're in the Thunderdome. What do you expect?
Yeah, we're in the
I mean,
Thunderdome.
what the hell with a nickname like that?
Everybody
You gotta have this
crashes
shit
into this
happen.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where you are. You know.
Yeah.
2 men enter, none of them leave in this Thunderdome. Shit.
I
You
know.
It's like,
Anyway, crazy neighborhood.
can I do a couple of things, guys? Real quick, local people. The petition I've been getting signed for the Davis Implementation Act. Anybody local wants to sign this, let me know today. Email, whatever, Facebook, tell me. I got to get more signatures up. I got a day or two left to get them all. So I got to do that a lot today. Second thing, I don't know if you saw that I posted that I've been kind of preparing for the possibility of our next rally protest. I figure anytime this week the GBI is going to have results, and you know, if it's not good results, I'm ready to get the troops together, so to speak, and go out there and protest.
Oh,
and
tell
rally.
us about your
There you
interview
go.
there.
There's the sign.
Tell us
Put it
about
up.
the interview that Chase.
Ooh. I didn't
All
know
right.
like the sign looks.
There's the
Ooh.
sign. There's what the truck did to the
Oh,
sign.
there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Look at that, folks.
Good job, Ed.
Ed, you're awesome.
That's the sign that the
Freaking
truck
awesome.
just crushed.
Hey,
the sign.
as a magician, buddy.
Evidence.
Evidence. So anyway, I'll get to that.
First on the scene. Breaking news.
That's right. You really are first with that. I mean, hell, you're like
You
literally
are the
within,
first with that.
Yes.
within 2 minutes. Yeah.
See,
But
we
anyway,
put shit out.
Shout out. I picked these up. Local artist Craig Burkhalter. He's the one that did the Eat Chips and Die
Yeah.
back with Sammy Davis, the little art. He's a local artist. Well, he dropped some of these off for me to pick up at the Golden Bough a few days ago downtown. It's a bookstore, independent bookstore. So he dropped these off for me. He says, "Here you go. I got some more stuff for you, Ann."
Yeah,
so
put
here's
that
some
shot.
new ones he made. We'll have these on some signs, of course, and we're going to hang them up around town. Here's one he made. It says, 3 9s will do it. Ask Junebug. Here's
That's great.
artist take on it.
Wow.
Yeah, put it right
3
there.
9s will do it. Ask Junebug. He was shot 3 times in the chest. And then
Perfect.
here's another one he made. It says, "Warning: lawyers will be shot."
Yeah, if you want to.
Wow.
Put
So
that in
these
the
are some
shot.
more of the very controversial artwork of Craig Burkhalter. I thank him for those, making those and giving them to me. Again, he was the same guy that did the Eat Chips and Die ones that we had on some
I
of the
love it.
signs.
Oh, eat chips. I like to
Chip.
eat chips.
No, Eat Chips.
Eat chips.
But
and
anyway,
bread.
yeah, so let me say this real quick. So guys, and Irvin brought it up. So yeah, I mean, we're preparing, you know, I don't know, last minute. I'm getting some signs ready already. Got some poster boards already. Making a few new signs because, you know, if it comes back bad, I'm out there. I'm out there for the
I'm
next
with you.
rally protest, and I'm sure a lot of other people will be out there. We know the family of Cheryl Davis will be. So
We ought to leave those up. Could we have those and keep them on the show?
yeah, he gave me a lot.
Okay.
Keep these two here. I got
All
more.
right.
I got more to put up.
Well, we'll
Leave
keep those here.
Wow.
But basically, yeah, you brought it up. Well, did y'all talk about it at all? Anything
We did.
about that?
We talked about.
About the 2010 report on Sammy? That
Yes.
they
We
now
talked
talked
about it,
about it, yes.
and I agree with what I believe you and I talked about, and we agreed that they're trying to make him look bad,
Of course.
to justify
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
that in fact he may have attacked that police officer and all that.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to make Sammy look bad,
Right.
but it goes back to the idea that is that what the police.
Phone
gonna-
call.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
we got a
we got a
phone
phone call.
Thank you. Let's go ahead with it.
You on the morning ropes?
You can't hit the speaker first, Irvin. You got to turn it on and then I think do the speaker.
No.
They'll
Call back.
Call back.
Call
Irvin,
back.
Irvin has trying to get that phone. Remember, Irvin, you got to answer it. Hello, then go. We'll put you on speakerphone and click speaker.
Got it.
Okay. Anyway, call back, please, whoever that was. But yeah, so Chase, you brought up Chase, and Chase, and I'll give this credit somewhat to Chase because Chase kind of brought this up to me also.
Yeah.
As what I put on. you're right. They're trying to damage control. They're trying to show this guy was already problems.
Right.
But to me, and this is what Chase believes also, Chase Ambrose, it makes the cops look bad in a way, because it shows them that they've already knew about this guy. If this report's true, they knew about him. They knew of his name. They knew of his size. All the more reason why did you send one officer there? If you already knew this guy did what this so-called report says he did,
and he had that history of schizophrenia,
why are you sending one officer to deal with a guy who's 300-something pounds that you claim is schizophrenic and he might be off his meds?
Yeah.
You should have for sure sent 4 to 5 cops immediately, not Officer Sutton, who has a horrible record on top of it. So
no, and on top of that, I mean, it doesn't justify a police officer killing a man with mental illness. I mean, think about that.
And unarmed.
And unarmed.
Right.
And so I just think, like you said, they should have handled that situation better.
Right.
He was obviously notoriously has some notoriety at that, Kroger's.
Right.
And so that police officer antagonized this guy, especially, I believe, he antagonized this guy with trying to get him out of there.
Right.
And
and
who knows what his motivation was? Why did that police officer engage Sammy?
Right.
When Sammy was already, I don't think Sammy was doing anything.
Right. Well, it looks bad to the cops in so many ways. And let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something I found out from somebody about this. That as much as this report got out, this one, believe it or not, the police claimed they weren't happy about this getting out.
Right.
They are mad at the officer who released this.
Yeah.
And this is straight from the horse's mouth.
Right.
I know this for a fact from talking yesterday to Chase. They're not happy about it. And they wanted to reprimand the officer that gave this report to Fox, because the report only went to Fox and the Telegraph. The Sammy report. And it was an officer inside that gave it to the media. And the officer he got fired over it, but he got reprimanded. They were mad that he released that. So why is your police department mad that you released something if you're trying to make it look good for your side? That explains to me that also, not only does it make them look bad further because they sent one guy after a guy they had already had a report on, not only that, it kind of makes the police department look like they were covering up more. Because what again did they release right away after we found out there was no warrant? What did they say? Sammy had no record. Sammy was never arrested. Then they have this complaint come out from 2010, which again shows more police cover up or just shadiness.
Something to hide. Like you said.
So that's why, when the minute this came out, and Chase kind of agreed with me on that. I'll say that much. And
tell him about the precinct, the area precinct.
Yeah, well, and I did post this yesterday, and I said this to Chase too. Chase Ambrose, by the way, is a good friend of ours, and he works for Fox. He's pretty much, to me, the best thing about that station. He's the only guy on there that I think really does well and knows what he's doing. But Chase, we've known Chase long before all this, before he worked there.
Yeah. Really cool guy, reporter, local reporter.
Former co-worker of mine,
Former co-worker.
Chase Ambrose basically gave me a call yesterday. Well, he emailed me first. This is around the time I got home. I didn't have the phone with me. And I had this message from Irvin, and then I had this email from Chase saying, "Ant, I got some more information on Sammy Davis, and I want to come and interview you real quick. Is that okay?" I call him back, sure. He comes and tells me basically that it's the report. He shows me a copy of the report. I read it in front of him. He tells me this, blah, blah. He tells me that this was dropped off at Fox and the Telegraph only. They didn't give it to 13. They didn't give it to 41. Just those two. And then he basically he said, "I want to get your reaction on camera to it. What do you think now? And I didn't see it, whether it was on the news last night. I don't have TV going, as I said. But basically I said, it doesn't change anything. I said, it doesn't change the fact that Sutton has a horrible record before he drove into the Kroger parking lot on December 21st. Yeah. It doesn't change. I said that from the beginning, and I said to Chase, I said, I heard rumors when I decided to take this on, when we decided to take this case on, I heard rumors from the get-go. Sammy was there selling drugs. He was hanging out to sell drugs. He was there to panhandle. He's there to shoplift. You know, I heard every rumor you could hear about the guy. People trying to justify him being shot. So this didn't surprise me that they're going to next say, okay, he's schizophrenic, he was off his meds. Okay, it doesn't change the fact. And then as I said also, and then Chase and I talked a little further, and you know, Chase brought that up too. You know, about what we just said about the why would they send one guy out there to this guy that they have knowledge of
who may be
2 years ago? Yeah. So you know, we had a good talk, and then back to what you said, Urban. I also then told Chase about my idea that I had told you guys on the phone yesterday when I called the Morning Roast show, that basically, you know, this is kind of like Magnum Force, the 1973 Dirty Harry sequel, and, you know, where there was the corrupt cops within the system, the kind of subculture within the culture, and they were going out and taking the law in their own hands. You know, they were going after people that the courts left off or let out. They were taking the law in their own hands. And basically, I found out it was very ironic to me by looking through these old newspapers in the past week or two that all this stuff that's going on with these corrupt cops lately, it's all contained within like less than a mile radius.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all precinct 3. Kroger shot by a cop, guy shot by a cop at precinct 3, yards away from precinct 3. The 2 guys that steal the tractor, Guidry and Watts. Roth Avenue is where they stole the tractor. Mere less than a mile away from that area. Yeah. The other direction, Cortland Avenue, parallel to the street that Cheryl Davis lives on, which is also perpendicular to Hillcrest where my mom lives. Cortland Avenue, that's where one of the cops stole the gun and gave it to a family member as a gift.
Right.
It's all happening within a mile area.
A mile radius.
From the same precinct.
That's got to mean something. It tells me that those guys might be into this all together. They might just be a group of crooked guys that are like, man, I'm going to get away with this time. What are you going to go do? I'm going to get away with it. You know, it's almost like it's a subculture within this. And so I brought that up yesterday on the show, as you know, and then I posted it on the Facebook page.
Interesting.
And you know, it is interesting. And I told that to
Chase took this information.
Well, so he did. He goes, yeah, I want to record you saying that, but I'm not going to use it now. He goes, I want it on file because if that's something to bring later, then what I'll do is pull that footage of you saying that in a later thing. So he went ahead and got me saying it. So, you know, and we'll see what happens. But it might just be coincidence, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, you can say that's a coincidence, but I mean, this is kind of peculiar that these cops are all doing this crap
and related
right
to
there,
the same precinct,
right there at Pine Nono Avenue and Roth, and Roth's off of Pine Nono over here, and Cortland's off of Hillcrest, which is off Pine Nono. I mean, it's all just really weird to me. And I believe even Holt Avenue is also in the one report about the gun being taken by the other officer,
right?
And that's not far from there. That's not far either.
And the 2 guys that stole the equipment.
Roth Avenue.
Yeah.
Roth Avenue is, I know exactly where Roth is. I used to walk through that street when I was younger, coming back from school.
Anyway, Yurok says, I don't think they sent Sutton. I am thinking he just showed up and saw a black man sitting in front of the store.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Yeah. What else did the chatter saying? We don't want to
any locations for petition today?
Well, I mean, I'm going to be downtown. I'm going to see if my bud Derek here will drop me off at Cheryl Davis's house. I've got to go.
Oh, by the way, did you talk to Cheryl?
She won't answer me. And I'm getting call. I got a call from Suzanne at the Justice Department. She's trying to get a hold of her. I think they're ready to release their information, but they're not going to do it until they tell her first, and she's not answering the door. She's not answering the door. She's not answering my emails. She's not answering to anybody.
That's weird.
It is weird. And so I'm going to have Derek drop me off after this right near my mom's neighborhood, right near Cheryl's house. I'm going to knock on her door. I'm going to bang
Leave
on her
her a
door.
note.
I got a note made already. I already wrote it up, right?
Good.
It's over here.
What's your note say?
I got it right here in case she doesn't answer. It's just very to the point. It says, Cheryl, Hello, I stopped by to talk to you and check on you and the family. Call or email if you have a moment to visit with me. Take care of yourself and your family and stay strong. So, I mean, I'm ready to put that on her door if she doesn't answer. But Cheryl, if you're listening, you know, I know it's hard for you now. You're probably stressed out. You know, this is the week they're probably going to say something, and you're really nervous about it all. But
you also heard rumor that she was told not to deal with you.
No, not told. No, that the whole call from the Justice Department from Suzanne yesterday was that she checked on me, and she yesterday morning or early afternoon, and she said basically that she forgot to get Cheryl's phone number when we had our meeting with her, and she wanted to know if I could give the number to her to ask Cheryl if it was okay for me to give Cheryl's number to her. So I said, okay, I'll call Cheryl, check and see if it's okay, you know. And I called and tried Cheryl. No answer, no answer, no answer. I emailed her. No reply to the email. And basically, I wasn't able to call Suzanne back because I'm not going to call her back until I have information that it's okay. I ended up just giving in the email, I ended up giving Cheryl Suzanne's number so she can just skip me and go right to Suzanne, because Suzanne said, you know, give her my number and just have her call me if she's not going to give me her number. So Cheryl has Suzanne's number. She might have called her by now. I don't know. But the thing is they're trying to get a hold of her. They can't. I told her I'll try. I told Suzanne if I don't get a hold of her via email or phone, I will go knock on her door either yesterday or today. I was unable to do it yesterday because I had no car.
He said she's probably depressed and having a hard time coping.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, imagine everything's coming at her. And we're trying to keep, and we don't want the media to know about when this goes down, because we don't want the media just showing up on that street with cameras blaring. You know, we already have an assumption of who tipped the media off about the meeting, which was not supposed to be known about. And we think it was you, Al Tillman.
I hope she's doing okay.
We think it was you, Al Tillman. We don't know, but we do. But we'll see.
Yeah, UX says it's very depressing. I hope she is okay.
Well, I'm going to go by there. I think they just want to know. Oh, but this is what you're getting at, too. And so then Suzanne Buchanan from the Justice Department, she says that the DA, David Cook, the new DA of the city, he's fine with letting her know first, because she said she was in touch with the DA. He's fine with letting her know first, but there's a couple of conditions, and the DA, one of those conditions is he doesn't want any politicians there with the family. He doesn't want any community activists there. He doesn't want any community leaders. He's fine with her having like a religious leader there or her pastor. That was another thing they were trying to find out from Cheryl, whether that was okay. That was why I was trying to get in touch with her to see, Cheryl, you know, are you fine with these conditions? You know, and I told her on the message, the personal message on the voicemail, I said, Cheryl, you know, I'm fine with that. Don't feel like, you know, the three of us have to be there, even though you said you wanted us there. We'll be there for you as a strong shoulder. We'll wait outside in the street, you know, and let you guys talk privately. And then if it's not good, we'll come in and console you. But believe me, I don't have to be there. I mean, I'm not that selfish to where I want to hear it first. I just want justice for the guy. I want justice for the guy. And we're ready anyway. I'm ready anyway. I mean, if it doesn't come back good, I'm out there. I'm out there with signs, and whoever wants to join me, come on out. We're going to be right there at Rosa Parks Square again, right in front of City Hall, and I guarantee it's going to be a lot louder than it was the last time. So, but what are they saying? Chatters, we're on.
They're saying, should we wait like Al or not? And what I mean is, Al a friend of your guys or not? And I said, Al told me, she said yes.
Al's a friend, but the thing with, and I heard this about Al before I met him. I've always heard from different people, Al's got an agenda. Al's about his own thing, you know. Al's always got things, and that's fine. You know, you know what you're going into when you meet the guy. At least you know what you're getting. And we don't know for sure if Al tipped him off, but anybody we talked to, the minute we brought it up, they said Al. Remember?
Yeah.
Everybody we talked to thought Al. Yeah, it was Al. It was Al. You know. So.
Al what? Al what?
Al
tipped off because when we had the first meeting with Suzanne at Cheryl's house that Thursday, right? Before we pulled there, the guy from Al Sharpton's group, the NAN, Mr. Jackson, he comes up and greets us, shakes our hands. He's about to leave. He pulls up. We pull up, and he goes, "Yeah, this guy just left from the Telegraph, wanting to get information, hearing that there was a meeting here today." Well, we find out it's Harold Goodrich, who writes for the Telegraph, and Harold Goodrich then apparently was told by the family, everybody else, no, we don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Sent on away. Well, we go, well, that's interesting because I didn't tell the media. I sure as hell didn't tell them. I knew not to tell the media about this meeting. Wonder who? And we all kind of looked at each other and went, Al, Al. And then, and then the guy from NAN, from the Al Sharpton group, he's like, yeah, it was Al. I bet it was Al. So, people assume it's Al. I mean, whether it was or not, because Al's into that. He's into that.
Well,
Al wants his name.
But he was there. So
yes, he was.
Well, he showed up. Of course you're going to show, because if you did do that, you don't want to look guilty.
Right.
He doesn't show up. He looks guilty. Like, oh, hell, I told the thing. I better not show up. He shows up to cover his ass, is my opinion. So.
Okay.
Because, and he pissed people off at that meeting.
Did he?
Well, Suzanne told me on the phone yesterday from the Department of Justice that she didn't like some of the stuff he did in that meeting.
Really?
Well, you remember that he used me as the example for that shooting him close up kind of guy. Mm-hmm. And you saw how Cheryl acted towards him. Mm-hmm. She got mad at him. That's what I mean. Like, Al came across with an agenda that wasn't necessarily, he was riding the fence. Let's face it. Al does not want to piss the wrong people off because he's worried about his career and keeping his footing in this community. If Al just steps out of the box and says, yeah, I want the cops out of here, I want Burns out of here, blah, blah, blah. If he was as loud as we were about it, he would lose all those friends in that clique that we talked about earlier. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want that. Al wants approval. Al needs people. He's trying to step and slide.
Well, he said on a show,
yes,
a couple of times he's been on, he has to work with these people.
And I don't agree with that. He can feel that way. I think you could work with them and still put them in their place and tell them when they're doing something wrong and say that you guys are not doing your job. There's a way to work with people and still just be harsh to them.
By the way, they tried to, people were calling Al's radio station and try to get him off. Al mentioned that to me yesterday.
He told me that yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, and it's because he's supporting Danny Glover, and so guess who hit him? Or tried he believes Elaine Lucas is going after him.
Well, she has a habit of trying to get people off the air.
Yeah.
She's been trying to get Mix in the Morning off the air.
So.
Well, she's been trying to get Mix in the Morning off the air for ages.
Really?
Yeah, she's gone there and told Lowell Register she wants those guys fired. And blah,
maybe
blah,
she
blah.
has some sense, but
but it sounds like Elaine just wants everybody off that doesn't agree with her, and I don't agree with that, Elaine. You have to have different voices out there.
Yeah, Elaine Lucas is some character in the city.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to Al.
Yeah.
Give credit where credit's due. He does have a radio station, or he works a radio show, and he did have the mayor on early on, and of course
he was somewhat tough on him. But
he was tough on him.
Wasn't enough time.
The mayor just shirked his answers.
But it wasn't enough time either. Al has a half-hour show, and he couldn't ask near as many questions as he should. He should have an hour or 2-hour show. You can't cover as much in an hour with commercials.
In half an hour.
And he's got commercials also.
Yeah.
So your show ends up being like 22 minutes long. Come on. We know about that with the Arkansas.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, we couldn't have very much to say.
But he also did another radio commentary on the show, talking about Junebug and things like that. And he seems like he's with the idea that we have, that we need some more openness with this police department, and more policing of the police. So he's been on that.
Right.
Your Wildcat says, what station is Al's shows on? Is it on?
You know what show? What station?
I'll send you that.
WIBB?
WIBB, yes. WIBB Macon.
Is it on the AM or the FM station?
It's a good question.
Because the FM station is 97.9.
Usually talk is AM.
Okay, so it's going to be on 1280 AM.
Okay.
Right.
And by the way, Urak, I had a great time hanging out with you this weekend, man. Chris Payne and myself, we went over to Urak's place. Man, Urak, oh, by the way, Urak's got a great dig. I told Urak we were going to do this. Urak is like, I told him, he's like the Bat Cave to our Arkham Asylum. No, it's very cool. Urak is like, we already know Urak's like this computer genius whiz guy, right? This Mr. He's all into what's going on.
He was a photographer that took.
Right. Well, this guy's got like, and I'm not giving anything away too much, Urak. I told you I was going to say this on the show. This guy's got like 7 computers in his house going at once.
I know. I was there.
It's like he's the nerve center. And I told him, I said, Urak, we need to make him like our headquarters away from here that feeds us all the information, right? The breaking news.
Yes.
And he's like the Batcave, and we're the Nut House. We're Arkham Asylum, right?
Yeah, we can work together.
So he loved the idea.
By the way, Peter over here.
I feel great. I don't think it's cold in here. It feels good.
Urak.
Oh, thanks, Urak. But Urak, I said, man, I said, let me tell the guys about it. Mm-hmm. They should be cool with it. Let's not take anything away from Ed. Ed's still the nerve center within this place.
Right.
But Urak can just do all that other stuff while Ed's busy doing his stuff over there that he can't get around to other. Urak can pull up news for us occasionally that he finds on, because Urak's got a strong bandwidth.
Yeah.
He's got strong connection on those computers.
I love the idea that he has like all these computers all over the house.
He's getting shit from all over, like from Europe, all these sites. He's getting stuff in from everywhere.
Wow.
So I think, and it's kind of cool. So it's like he's in his little cave. No one knows where he is.
Yeah, right there in the center of
downtown. He's feeding us
downtown.
this stuff, and then we're going with it. We're getting it out to the public. I love that idea. So you're hired.
Yeah, baby.
Definitely.
Your brother's trying to log on and back connection.
Yeah.
What's up, coffee guy?
I don't know if he's on.
See,
He's on.
hired?
Yeah. As our outside, well, he knows he's not being paid.
I know.
And he's our outside.
You're already the highest paid person here.
I am?
Yeah.
How was that?
Nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
I'm just saying, I don't get paid.
Something.
If you guys think I'm being paid, you're wrong. I get nothing.
Yeah.
But no, Urak, if you didn't hear me, Ed, Urak's got a cool hookup in his little cave out in night.
Al's got a show on FM too, 101.
Oh, so it's FM too?
Yes.
Okay.
101.7?
Yeah, Eve just sent us Altum and Enterprises Studio.
Online, live stream.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys can check out Al's show. We'll promote Al's show.
Well,
check out Al's show.
she just put it up. Eve, Plastic Canvas, put up information on Al and the www. Thank you, Eve.
Yeah. No, I mean, Urak, if he wants to do that, I don't want to say, hey, he's got to be bogged down and do that, but he's got the setup for it, and it takes a little weight off of Ed, because Ed's doing more than just looking stories up. Ed's also putting together these little photos with funny things on them. Ed's sitting there talking to the chatters, and sitting there lining up music. He's got a lot to do over there. So if Urak occasionally wants to send us stories, hey, go for it, and then keep us informed. That's cool.
By the way, C-Flux says Ant works for the same pay for fewer hours.
That's right.
I love it.
Well, no, it's just I got no car, but by next week we think we got a car.
Well,
I think I got a car.
We know he's from the area.
Yeah.
All right, that's good to know.
He must know you.
Because see, my daughter's in another play. Her rehearsal starts February 25th, and we have to have a car by then to get her to rehearsals. Yeah. And February 25th is next Monday. So we're working with getting a car. Either I get a check tomorrow, we're going to get the car fixed, or my brother's going to hook us up with a car that we can borrow.
Well, isn't that sweet? Urak says I can help out if you need.
There you go, brother. Well, we talked about this in person this weekend. I was hanging out at Urak's. He's got a cool little setup, man. Hey, he's like the lone gunman guy on X-Files. He really is. He's like he's in his little pad, and it's almost like out of the way. You don't know where the hell it is.
Like
and he's
Christopher
got it all.
Dorner in his cabin.
He's got it all. Well, yeah. Urak, he's more of a technical guy instead of Urak's more of a computer technical guy than a guns and arms guy. Maybe he's got an extra hard drive for us. Yeah. The guy's got like 6 or 7 computers in his house.
So he has
going
like
at once.
terabytes.
He wants to have 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but you're kind of the same cloth. You guys both are into these conspiracies and stuff. You and Urak are kind of the same cloth. I mean, as far as what you're into, because you're always about, the conspiracy of this.
Yeah, right. All fucking things are conspiracy. This fucking gun control shit and all that shit's happening. That's all conspiracy.
Yeah, Gamer Girl says there are no excuses, and you'll have to show up.
I know, but guys, I try to show up. But see, having a family, these guys don't have kids. I mean, Ed's got grown kids. These two don't have kids. I got to deal with my own kids. I've got to deal with the car. I can't just be a deadbeat dad and completely leave the kids with my wife.
So even if you have a car, you probably won't show up anyway.
No, hey, when I had one, I was always good about showing up.
Yeah.
And I'll have one, and I can't promise anything any day, but you guys seem to hold it down. I couldn't hear you guys at the library yesterday, but I could see you, and it looked good. You guys look good.
Uriah says I'm gonna get robbed now. I don't know about that.
No, because I didn't tell you where. I didn't tell anybody where you live. Uriah.
Yeah.
Don't worry. You're getting too paranoid. Don't worry about that. No one knows where you live except me and Chris Payne. A few others. These guys don't even know where you live yet.
Well, I do.
Oh, you do?
Oh,
You've been
yeah.
to Iraq?
I've been there.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
I've been there. But,
anyway, don't worry, Iraq. Mum's the word. We won't tell anybody where the Batcave is.
Where the Batcave is.
That's
exactly.
right. It's outside Gotham. It's outside Gotham by what? 14 miles?
Yeah.
That was the sign said on the 60s show?
Yeah.
14 miles.
Let's go back to
Dirty Mouth?
Let's go back to understand what the hell Anthony just did.
Yeah.
That's it's supposed to be Ed. When he was a kid, he was suspended from school for wearing a Batman mask.
Yeah.
And
this is pre, of course.
This is
pre.
This thing is Batman. Yeah, it's like
that's Ed. That's Ed coming into the classroom with his Batman mask on.
You're right, ding dong. I like when he writes that.
Yeah.
He keeps bringing up the bell that we talked about. That's in that. Put it on again.
Ding dong.
We got so much.
Listen, guys. Listen to this.
The what? The ding dong?
Yeah, yeah. That is a bell to me.
That's the way Irvin always understood the Godzilla.
That's
so let's jump from, I don't know how we're going to segue to this, but do it. Hell, we only got 17 minutes left anyway.
Well, speaking of like,
speaking
of
getting
screwed over.
Yeah, speaking of getting screwed over. Yeah, I guess. If that connects.
There's a store that stopped and frisked Forrest Whitaker, and they want to apologize.
That's the guy that Danny says you look like.
Academy Award winner Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
So
maybe Donnie is.
They now apologize.
He must have got his eyes fixed because he used to.
It's still a little off.
Well, okay.
I think there's one. It's still. I think it's just the way he's smiling.
Oh, got a lazy eye.
Yeah, lazy eye thing. Well, a rep from Milano Market apologized over an incident in which Forrest Whitaker was stopped and frisked by one of its employees on this past Saturday. The rep said that the pat down was not racially motivated. The frisk, the management of Milano Market deeply regrets the wrongful actions of our employee for stopping and frisking Forrest Whitaker, the rep told the entertainment news site. While we cannot delve into the employee's mindset, we do not believe that he was racially motivated in his actions, simply misguided. The rep added that the market is taking steps to retrain employees so that such incidents do not happen again. Milano Market also wants to make a donation to a charity of Whitaker's choice to make things right.
Okay.
That is obviously a case of whoever was the one who frisked them had no clue who he was. Right? Mm-hmm. And not only that, pretty good bet they were profiling. You know? Black guy. Seems to be a pretty big black guy.
Big black guy. Maybe hungry.
Had no clue who the hell he was. And now they feel so embarrassed by it. The store feels so embarrassed by it.
What is it with these stores and accosting black guys? What is of this?
I wonder if
Forrest Whitaker.
Does it say what nationality the officer was that accosted him? No. Because I'm wondering if it's like some Hispanic or some guy here with a job who has no clue about Forrest Whitaker. He doesn't watch movies. He doesn't know who he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it's those people that don't know who he is.
Right.
It's ones from another country that are working here and live here, like a Hispanic guy or a Mexican guy, or maybe like a guy from the Caribbean or something. You know, they just don't know who he is, but they have these jobs working as security or whatever.
Well, the thing is, the pat down was from Forrest Whitaker endured he was accused of stealing from the establishment, from this market.
Right.
It says, quote, it was around lunchtime, the store was packed, and the Milano employee refused to give his name, probably maybe, like you said, it may be too ethnic or something.
Yeah.
It says, we were like 50 people deep. The person walked in and out really quickly, so our person just made a mistake. The employee apologized immediately. It was an honest mistake. I have been here 14 years, and nothing like this has ever happened. Really? Perhaps Forrest didn't see what he wanted and simply walked out. What's the crime in that? The employee's comments do not sit well with Forrest, according to his representative. Says this was an upsetting incident that, given the facts that Forrest did nothing more than walk into the deli.
Yeah.
Said his publicist Jennifer Plant.
Profiling.
She said that the actor was on set and unavailable to discuss the incident.
Yeah, it was profiling.
All right, well, let's look at what the chatters are saying.
Okay.
DS Photo Guy says maybe he was pulling a Winona Ryder.
Oh, Winona Ryder?
I doubt that.
No, I doubt that.
Because Winona Ryder was actually caught with something in her bag.
Yeah.
She was caught.
He was
obviously not caught with anything. He never took anything.
Mm-hmm.
DS, by the way, good to see you too, DS. We went to that cookout that Urak invited us to at that lady's house, Martha, lovely lady.
Yeah.
Thank her for having us and being cordial. DS was there with his lovely lady, Lacey. Good to see you guys.
Anyway.
And we missed you, Irvin. I mean, Urak came to get you.
Oh, God, yeah, I know. I missed...
you thought it was Sunday.
We'll talk about that another day. We only have 15 minutes, but I wasn't able to show.
Yeah.
And
it was a good day. Good day. Good event. Appreciate it.
If Derek, this is Ibuki, if Derek grew up with a mustache, he would look more like Cleveland from
the Cleveland show.
Ibuki.
Oh my goodness.
That's awesome.
Hello there, Peter. How are you?
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Mike, Coffee Guy. I don't know if you talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, we talked about
last week. We did talk about.
And we talked about him today, I think.
Oh, yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yes, we talked about it.
Yeah, that guy's up shit creek. What do you think about it, Coffee Guy? What's your take on it? He doesn't have a leg to stand on, does he?
I love it.
Yeah. I already told that joke Friday.
Oh, you did?
He's got a million of them.
Okay. Well, I was here Friday. I guess so.
Wow.
Vorpal Bite says, I thought Forrest Whitaker was dead. No, that's Morgan Freeman. No, you remember how you didn't see the internet thing? They kept saying Morgan Freeman was dead.
Oh, okay.
That was that big thing. They were saying that he was dead, but he's not. But they keep saying
a lot of times I think
that
guys
was,
are dead and they're still around.
Forrest Whitaker killed his girl. No, that's Oscar Pretorius.
He's the guy. Well, and he tried to act like, what I heard about it. And you might have addressed this already when I wasn't here. Is that he had a history of being paranoid. They said.
Right.
And also the history of thinking that his place was always going to have people trying to burglarize it.
Because he has no legs, he can't run away from
he didn't say the reason. He was he was apparently this kind of almost obsessively compulsed guy about being burglarized, and that's why he had all these guns around the house. They said this is the way he was, and now his defense, I think, is that it was a mistake because he didn't know she was coming home, and he thought it was somebody trying to burglarize his house. But I don't know.
Yeah, well, Coffee Guy...
What do you think, Coffee Guy?
Well, he says he's now claiming an intruder.
Right.
Then he says, you are here all week, literally.
Yeah, Gamer Girl, we're all over the place. We're talking about, we'll talk about both simultaneously. Whitaker, bring up Whitaker, we'll talk about Whitaker. Bring up this Olympian, and we'll talk about that. We're just kind of back and forth because everybody on the chat's kind of back and forth.
Yeah.
Oscar Pretorius, not Dan
Pastorini. Yeah.
Vorpal Bite, Obama, gun salesman of the year.
Right.
Jeez, Louise.
Guys, you didn't do a wordsmith yesterday, did you? Did y'all pull one off of that?
We did mine for the Sunday.
For the word Sunday.
Pulling up on Sunday.
Okay.
Or Sunday of
you want to do it out of the book now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sabuki, are the books in the mail? Just like Jeff Weber's
Yes,
soundboard.
he said they're in the mail.
Because we're coming up on the last week of using this book, I guess.
Yes.
Pick a page, somebody.
Yeah, go ahead and pick a page.
What did it say?
Oh, DS Photo Guy says, I don't think you should ever shoot until a person is identified. That's just common sense.
Right. Well, I don't really buy this. My thing, DS, I was getting at is I don't necessarily buy this guy, Oscars. I don't buy his defense. I think that's his defense. I don't buy that he thought it was an intruder.
Yeah.
I think this guy has a history of abusing his girlfriends or something, or having problems with his girlfriends. And I think this was kind of, I'm not saying premeditated, but I think it was somewhat planned. And he's trying to use the defense of...
Possibly.
I think there's intruders.
Possibly, because they did say, the officers did say they found a 9mm casing in the bedroom.
Yes.
So where he might have shot her in the leg or something like that.
Yeah.
Coffee Guy gave page 40.
Page 40.
Classic Canvas says page 69 and number 2.
We already got 40. And 2.
What else?
Number 2.
Give us a number.
It's right here. Number 2. because we already used this one.
Two.
Okay.
This is the chapter. These words came from proper names. Martinet. M-A-R-T-I-N-E-T.
Like Martina.
And you know, this is right under malapropism. Remember we did malapropism and everybody's like, what the hell is that word? Well, here we have another one under that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Martinet. Anyway, when we call a man a martinet, we mean that he is a stern master and a stickler for detailed discipline. The word comes from the name of Jean Martinet, a general who built up the first regular army in Europe during the reign of Louis XIV. This general contributed nothing to military sciences or tactics, but by his precise and persistent system of drill, he trained his men to fight as a unit in battle. So Martinet, the man, gave us Martinet, the word. That's from Wilfred Funk's Word Origins and the Romantic Stories.
That's the way it is.
Martinet. Okay, we'll put it up on. I'll put it on the.
By the way, Saibuki just sent this picture of the receipt of the books that he sent us.
Cool. Well, we believe you, Saibuki.
Yeah, but that's cool. I'm glad he.
We just make a joke about the Jeff Weber
I wish
thing.
I could get this.
It's funny to say, you know. It's like this. It's in the mail.
Put that picture up.
Yeah, it's in the mail. We appreciate Saibuki.
We appreciate it, brother. I'm looking forward to getting those books.
We were talking about Martinet, the word, and about this guy who was a French
Now everybody
general.
knows where we live.
And then,
With what?
It's got our address on it.
oh yeah.
Oh.
And Saibuki says, Frenchmen fighting in battle, I call BS.
That's right.
The coffee guy says you should do a TV series using the Jerkaway character.
Yeah. We can. That's on YouTube. We can bring Jerkaway up. We
Yeah,
can bring
yeah.
that on the show.
Yes. Yes.
My brother loved that commercial. He's the one fan of it.
I did too.
He's the one fan of it. The
Yeah,
Jerkaway.
I am
Yeah.
too, coffee guy.
It's pretty funny. I admit it.
Oh my
I think
goodness.
so.
It's like one of the last things Howie Hansel did with us.
I mean, look,
Yes.
It's on record.
it was more you just playing yourself.
That's
The
not,
Jerk,
I don't dress that way.
the
Wait,
Jerk
wait a minute.
away.
I do.
Yeah, I
have
thought
that
it was
mustache?
funny.
No, I don't.
I thought it was
But you
funny.
didn't have that much hair though.
I had that wig.
That wig.
Yeah.
I was wearing that bad yellow wig, remember? You guys have no clue what we're talking about. We'll get it on.
We'll get it up.
Ed
We'll
to
get
put
it
it
up.
play it one break next
Yeah.
show or two.
Yes.
But anything else, guys? I mean, Irvin, what? So, Luke, what are your plans? What are your plans this week, guys? Besides, we're gonna go hit lunch. We're gonna hit lunch this week.
I'm
We're hitting
feeling
lunch this
healthy
week.
enough to go downtown, and
We're
I
gonna
was
hit lunch.
there. And
Ed, did you have a good weekend? I know you don't want to talk in
If,
detail, but I know
yeah,
you said you were going to stay away from here. You get out? Good. Ed had a good
Well,
weekend. Derek,
hopefully, if it
what'd you
hap-
do besides go to the Sunday film festival?
Let's see, the Sunday festival.
You hung out at home.
I hung out at home and talked to some friends and went to talk to babysit my little niece. She turned she was 17 months, so 17 months old, and my
Good, Jim.
oldest niece actually yesterday she turned 14. Turned 14 February 18th, so that was a very good. So she's
Colony's gonna love this.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
That's an ant carrying a roach.
I found a baby
It's
picture.
an ant. You got a baby picture of her?
that's brilliant.
It's an ant carrying a roach.
I found an old baby picture of her.
Go ahead. It's not up yet. We're on a delay. We're waiting.
Wow.
Here we go. A baby picture of her. Drum roll, please.
Ooh.
Oh,
Coming over here for some reason. Ah!
that's a cool picture.
That's pretty wild. It's like little Hellboy.
Yeah.
Cool.
You look
Like
almost
this
looks
is-
real.
Look,
This
Gamer
is-
Girl says, "Oh, that's cute." Cool, man. That's awesome. You know what I
Yes.
mean? That's a cool little.
So is that
little-
like a baby demon?
No, it's a little satyr. It's a
Oh.
little satyr.
Yeah.
You know, goat legs. It's a
No.
satyr.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Ah, man.
Which relates to I Suck Goats, I guess.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right. Put that up with the I Suck Goats
I
phone
Suck
number.
Goats,
that'd be
Yeah,
funny,
that'd
yeah.
be perfect. That's the I Suck Goats. That's cool. Coffee guy. He said he went to the Dogs basketball game this last week. How was it? Other than they played basketball.
They lost to Alabama.
Okay.
Oh
Wow.
crap!
Hey,
Well, see,
Norris,
that's
man.
kind of sad. That's kind of disheartening because I mean, even though we are really competitive in basketball and football, excuse me, SEC, we kind of like in basketball we kind of equally suck.
Right.
Because we
right.
in basketball.
Yeah, UGA's not known that well for basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just only known for like football and women's gymnastics. That's about.
and usually, and a lot of times, making the top 10 Playboy list of the best party colleges. They make that a lot too. Yeah.
By the way, Ed has no mercy. He puts up this retarded kid's picture.
It's Ed's sense of humor, though.
I love it.
Ed's got that sense of Ed's got that sense of humor like I have. There's no joke off limits.
I'm not criticizing it.
Yeah, there's no joke off limits.
I think it's fun.
I think comedy's got no boundaries. You got to be able to make fun of everything.
Oh, to keep with the boner?
Yeah.
Well, I just want on a lighter note, you know.
Derek's plugging again.
Huh?
Derek's lighter note.
Yeah.
The darkest guy on the panel's got the lighter note.
Yes. The lighter note. You know, just
Woo!
Speaking of crap.
Speaking of crap. Well, this stems.
You guys want to see the hippo thing again?
This stems from Sabuki's story he gave us originally,
Uh-huh.
right about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's about Nestle withdraws pasta meals as horse meat scandal spread. It says from Zurich in London, it says Nestle has removed beef pasta meals sold under its Buitoni brand from sale in Italy and Spain after finding traces of horse meat, becoming the latest victim of a food scandal still spreading across Europe. The world's biggest food company, which says as recently as last week its products had not been affected by the scare, said the decision to withdraw the products came after tests over the weekend showed traces of horse DNA in batches of meat used to prepare the meals. Nestle spokesman Chris Hogg said on Tuesday the withdrawals would have no material financial impact on the company. These are chilled pasta products that do not have a long shelf life, so there are very low levels of inventory, he said. Hogg said that Nestle was not attempting to estimate the level of impact the recall would have on the reputation of the brand.
Wow.
Where's that horse?
I like that the spokesman for Nestle is a guy named Hogg.
Chris Hogg.
H-O-G-G.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Hogg.
Yeah.
That's just a regular animal farm over there.
Yeah, like animal farm, like oil.
By the way, Coffee Guy asked you, he's got a quick question.
Yes.
What film did you like best at the festival?
Of all of them that I saw, or just
Yours.
of all just the block that was our block? Because there were 7 films in our block. There were a lot of good ones in our block.
Yeah.
Really, that one, Wolf Call. It was this guy did something with the Emmett Till story.
Yes.
That guy was an excellent actor. His name was Mike Wiley. And basically, and it was kind of ironic. We talked about Emmett Till on here last week, and then we go to the festival. Real quick, it ran right after Nick Chopper and the 40 Wolves. It was right behind mine. And this is what it was. It was this guy doing this kind of Look magazine report, and this actor, black actor, he was playing the guy interviewing the 2 white guys that killed Emmett Till, the 14-year-old that was killed in Mississippi. You know, strangled, his eyes gouged out, strangled with barbed wire, all this horrific stuff. Well, basically, he's interviewing these guys. It's done in black and white, and then it finally turns to the 2 white guys he's interviewing, and the 2 white guys are being played by the same actor that's playing the interviewer. Now, his name is Mike Wiley, and the guy was incredible with his voice. I mean, I closed my eyes. I'd seen it twice because I saw it on the first block when it showed on Thursday, when I went to the first block of my movie that Thursday, and went back and saw it again on Sunday. But it was incredible. The guy, if you can find it on YouTube or something, I don't know if it's out there, watch it. But the guy, man, I closed my eyes, and this guy sounded, man, he sounded like 2 white redneck guys from Mississippi. And he was able to sound different between those 2. And then on top of that, do his own voice that he used for the interviewer.
Yes.
And it was just him. It was a 3-man show. And it was really incredible acting. It was probably the best acting I'd seen the whole weekend. In anything.
Very good.
Very good acting. The guy's name was Mike Wiley. That was a good one.
Yeah. Was this seem to have been like a wolf theme going on?
Well, I like that. Yeah. Well, because they lined it up. There was one called Red, which was pretty good, which is to take a Little Red Riding Hood, which was right before ours. You know, that had the whole wolf thing, plus the guy with the axe, you know, who kills the wolf, the woodsman. Then it went into Nick Chopper and the 40 Wolves, which is the wolves and the axe.
By the way, Coffee Guy, my favorite flip was your brother's.
Hey, thank you. That was nice.
I didn't see anything else, but.
Well, I said that. You know, I went up there after the Q&A. I went up there Sunday, and I said, you know, I had a lot of people in the audience, friends and family and stuff, and cast members and crew, you know, that helped on it. And I said, just when you do your vote for the Audience Choice Award, vote with your heart, so to speak, and don't just vote for mine.
Are you guys up for an Addy? Somebody is.
Yes. Well, the commercial for Roasted is.
Yeah.
Right. And that award ceremony is next weekend.
Oh, that's great.
So
that's
Will's
great.
going to that. Will Grammer's going to that. He'll tell us if we win. But no, it was a lot of good films. Red was pretty good. It was a take a Little Red Riding Hood. There was a pretty funny one with a comedian. This guy's basically doing a comedy routine, and he ends up just telling the truth, and he basically calls out his wife and his boss and everybody in the audience, and it's pretty hilarious.
Well, I just see what Sabuki says, like, no peace. Eating horse in the UK is frowned upon because idiots love horses. Yeah, that's sad.
There are a few good ones. We watched Hairspray, which I'd seen before. Hairspray, they showed Hairspray Saturday night.
The original.
That's with Divine.
The John Waters.
Yeah.
Mink Stoll was one of the guests from Hairspray.
She was actually one of the guests in downtown. One of the...
Oh, hell yeah. It's giving us a hint.
Yeah,
man, it's
time to
by.
go.
Yeah. Time
it's
flies.
11:02 a.m. Here in Macon, Georgia. It's 46 degrees. Don't forget your umbrella because it's going to rain today with a high 63. If you're in Macon, of course.
Gamer girl might be going, what the hell are you talking about, Derek? I got sunshine where I live. You're about to grab your umbrella.
Well, she's in Jersey.
Sabuki's agreeing with you because England always rains. But everybody else is like, what the hell is Derek talking about?
Yeah, it's 46 in Macon specifically.
Right.
46 degrees. It's going to be raining, so grab your umbrella. It's going to be a high of 63 and a low of 31. It's 11:03 a.m.
Did we say it yet?
What?
Did we say the term wing dang dougal danger?
Well, yeah.
We have to say it every show.
Yeah, it was a wing dang dougal of a show.
Let's do the shout outs.
Yes, all our shout outs, our chatters are Sabuki, DS Photo Guy, Eve, Plastic Canvas, Graybeard, Harry Sachs, Ellen Macon, The Coffee Guy, Official Gamer Girl, Vorpal Bite, Uric Wildcat, Because 77, C Flug, a new guy. Welcome to the show. Peace and Love, excuse me. Drinks at Night, Sky Blue, Tina Bean 91, and guest Mega Crab.
Thank you guys. We appreciate your support.
Thank you.
And I will be finally here on time. I've arranged to where unless something comes up, I got to ride.
Perfect.
Tomorrow, 7:30.